pvbcradio.com. That's calendar at pvbcradio.com.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It's the anniversary of a milestone in the tragic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. It was 1 year ago today the final American flight departed Afghanistan. The country plunged into chaos when President Biden ordered the hasty withdrawal of U.S. troops after a 20-year mission, and the Taliban seized control. As the U.S.-backed government collapsed, a terrorist bombing killed 13 American troops, along with 170 other people. Hundreds of Americans were left behind as the troops were ordered out before all the civilians could be evacuated. He may be down, but he's not out. An NYPD detective battling a COVID vaccine mandate has suffered a legal setback, but he's not giving up the fight.
Detective Anthony Marciano is more than one of 1,000 New York City employees who didn't qualify for a medical or religious exemption from getting the coronavirus vaccine. Claiming natural immunity, he has a lawsuit pending in federal appeals court to keep from getting fired. On Monday, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who oversees emergency appeals for the region, made no comment as she denied his request for an emergency injunction while the case is being resolved. The city's law department says it's happy with the ruling, but Marciano's attorney says she'll ask the entire Supreme Court for a review. I'm Jennifer King.
Massive flooding has taken out the Jackson, Mississippi water treatment plant.
The water is not safe to drink, and I would even say it's not safe to brush your teeth with.
Mississippi State Health Officer Daniel Edney.
We are not seeing adequate chlorination and inability to consistently disinfect the water. So you need to boil the water for 3 minutes fully and conserve your water, but husband your water resources.
Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves declaring a state of emergency. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures up 113 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-940-6161. That's 1-800-940-6161. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-940-6161. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
A Chinese think tank is taking issue with the Communist Party's zero COVID policy, saying curbs that shut down cities and disrupt trade, travel, and industry must change to prevent further damage to the economy.
The Anbao Research Center isn't being specific, but says President Xi Jinping's government needs to focus on shoring up sinking growth. It's noted the US, Europe and Japan are recovering economically after easing anti-disease curbs. The antivirus curbs are widely expected to stay in place at least until after a Communist Party meeting this fall, at which Xi is likely to break with tradition and award himself a third 5-year term as leader. I'm Charles Dilatesma.
Germany's annual inflation rate rose to 7.9% this month, returning to its highest level in nearly half a century after it dipped in the 2 previous months. News and analysis, townhall.com. The Crescent City mayor has a big problem.
A recall effort against New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell is underway. On the first day, organizers say so many people showed up to sign the petition, more signature sheets had to be printed. The amount of crime in New Orleans has always been an issue with voters, but many say Cantrell's support of a young carjacker in juvenile court was the last straw. In that incident, a 14-year-old carjacked and robbed 3 different women. Cantrell served as a character witness for the convicted carjacker in court. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Arizona Governor Doug Ducey has arrived in Taiwan for a visit focusing on semiconductors. Critical chips used in everyday electronics have become a battleground in the technology competition between the U.S. and China. His visit is the latest in a recent string by U.S. politicians, those visits to Taiwan angering Communist China. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Bunch of savages in this place. I leave for 1 day, and my headphones are unput-onable.
I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, was it Roy or Tanner yesterday?
Tanner was here, but he never put them on.
I'm going to say it was Roy. He snuck in. No, I think I know what happened. It was cleaning. We had cleaning.
We did have the cleaning crew come in, I believe, Saturday.
Yep.
So maybe that's what it was.
They did. They came in here and they went... plug back in. That'll show him.
I still haven't fixed my wall of stuff behind me when they...
Your wall of voodoo?
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I haven't. So that's usually a good indicator because all my accoutrement...
Your bric-a-brac?
Yeah, is scattered and out of sorts.
I haven't done it in a while, but I need to. I need to set my ring up intricately. Like right now, it's just because I had my kids in and they were playing with it and stuff.
Right, they just...
So I need to set my ring up intricately, like to where like somebody's like on balanced on a rope, super kicking, and then like there's another, one of my other figures up like on the acoustic foam that I use for soundproofing, like about to do a dive, like I used to have it before.
Yeah.
Because I know that was just a nightmare for the cleaning crew.
Well, you and Tanner used to have a thing where y'all would create little scenarios every day, and he'd like photojournal it.
For a minute, I would love to see those, by the way. Honestly, we got busy.
Yeah,
all right.
That happens.
Life got busy.
It does happen.
Mm-hmm.
It does happen. Well, happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes, welcome to it.
It's cloudy but it's supposed to be a rainy day.
Yeah,
but mostly this afternoon.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Allegedly. we brought this back with us. Sorry.
We're good with it. We need the rain. We had a good little rainstorm last night.
Yeah, it was a nice little dusting.
Yeah, and we got more on the way. There's like, they just say it's going to rain. That's
it's going to rain.
Actually, a 70% chance officially today, but they're saying we could get a quarter to half inch today.
Ooh.
So we'll see what happens. I'll get you up to date with all that here in a little bit.
I don't care what anybody says. That's plenty of rain. Plenty of rain.
Well,
for right now.
Just don't get it in a half hour.
Right.
That's the problem. Is don't get it all in like one little short period of time. We can spread that out over some time there to help a little bit, but we definitely use the moisture. So no complaints from me here. But happy Tuesday.
Yes.
Hope everything's going swimmingly for everybody out there. There's something I was going to talk about, and I just spaced on it. So, well. I had something I was like, I want to get. Of course, you had the day off yesterday. Have a good little day off.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting surprise trip because I genuinely thought I was going to go. We were going to go meet some friends up in Albuquerque, and my friend Misty sprung it on me first thing in the morning. She's like, "Nope, we're going to Santa Fe."
No,
Meow Wolf. She goes, "Meow Wolf." I'm like,
So you went and saw Meow Wolf?
Dude.
Was that the first time?
It's the first time I've been to
I've
that
never
one.
been
I've
either.
been to, that's the second one I've been to, because I've been to, the first one I went to was, I actually did them out of order, because
Oh, there's an order?
there's really not an order, but in order of the way they were, when they were built was, the House of Eternal Return is the first.
Where's that?
That's the one in Santa Fe.
Okay.
That's the one I went to yesterday.
All right.
Omega Mart is the second installation, and apparently over the next 2 years...
That's the one in Vegas.
That's the one in Vegas. And apparently over the next 2 years, they're working on, I think, 2 more that are supposed to be in Texas. One in like Austin, and then one in San Antonio, I think.
I thought Colorado had one.
Colorado, oh yeah, that's right, they do. There's that one up I think it's just outside of Denver.
Okay.
But yeah, there's that one as well. And that's, I can't remember the name of that one. But they all have like a flow through story, sort of.
Okay.
It's like kind of all connected in a way. But they're also all their own separate things.
Okay.
But the fascinating part about any of these is just the construction of the building. Like if you've never been, it's whoever designed these places. It's so intricate that you'll see like a small crack in the wall that you wouldn't even see if you weren't looking for it, because the paint like makes it to where there's no shadow.
It's like a hidden entrance.
It's a hidden entrance, and then you sneak in this little shimmy in this little corridor, and you're in a completely different section of the building. It's absolutely insane.
Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's
so
a
if
cool,
one wanted
cool
to take
spot.
kids and lose them.
Yeah. We made that joke. So we did the majority of the time. It was just groups of people
looking for each other,
walking around looking for other people, because you're like, your mind says, oh, okay, you're in this room. Well, I'll go around this corner and go around, and you'll be right there. No. You go around this corner. You're in a completely different wing of the building.
It's just a whole building of people walking around going, Terry, Bob.
It was like
Janet.
It was Josh. That plus a lot of like shimmying, ducking, and climbing. I ended up like staring at one of the members of our party's keisters for most of the journey. It's like, pull your pants up, Daryl. Dang it.
Meow Wolf.
Meow Wolf. It's a really, really cool spot. Oh, and the other thing.
Cool.
The other thing is all the employees, they're in kayfabe. So like, they're no help.
Right.
You're like, I really need to find my 7-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just like, have you looked in the beyond? It's so, and there's different ways you can experience it. You can just, you have as much time as you want. It's free reign. So you can just go to each room and just kind of check it out.
Sure.
And there's different cool stuff to see. But there's also a story that like you can follow through of like this family and how this house became this portal to another dimension.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole thing.
All right, well, cool.
We did not have that kind of time. Or energy. Yeah, exactly.
Roy.
Jim, if you're still in here, we're going to Bob's house after this. It was a lot of that. But it was really fun. It was really fun.
Okay, it sounds like I got a good time. It sounds like it's worth checking out.
It was indeed.
Just prepare to get lost.
I did, lean over to my friend and be like, this is the most irresponsible thing I can do on a work day.
Well, good deal. Sounds like you had fun.
It was nice.
Let me give the rundown for today's show. We do have a full slate for you today. This hour, and here in just a few minutes, we're going to have from Loveless Regional Hospital join us, Sarah East, certified physician's assistant. We're going to talk Botox and all that, and who should have it, why you should have it, and what it can do for you. But yeah, we'll talk about that, headaches and all kind of stuff with Sarah East. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Jason Roebuck's going to join us. He's got an update for us on the Roswell Christmas Railway.
I heard big things.
Yes, new location, all that stuff. But he also wants to talk about Roswell's newest downtown thing you need to see, Bricktown.
I believe Oklahoma City has a cease and desist coming your way, buddy.
But they got to deal with the Legos and all that good stuff. So
cool.
we're gonna Jason's gonna tell us all about that. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Amy McVeigh-Teas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico is going to join us. With her will be Angela Strange from the CAPS program. That's part of the Roswell Community Theater Kids Arts program. Of course, they have their Living Museum event happening here September the 17th. So we're going to talk all about that with those two.
Yes, indeed.
And then we'll have all of your... Hold on. This thing does this now. We got to get that fixed. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local, national, and whatever other variety there is, and
international.
Yeah, international, planetary.
That's right.
Intercontinental.
Well, all your updates from the James Webb Telescope.
By the way, how could one be an intercontinental champ when they didn't get people from all the intercontinentals?
That's a good point. It does seem to be largely North American. It's funny because the branch I watched just recently introduced the All Atlantic Championship, and there's on the belt itself there's a Japanese flag. I'm like, y'all might want to check your oceans.
Not that ocean water is sonic either. Something different. All right, it is 7:15. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. All that moist air coming in as part of the monsoon will be shifting into our area today, so we've got a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could have heavy rainfall today, our afternoon high in the mid-80s. Lingering showers overnight and down to 65, and then a little bit more sunshine on Wednesday, but still some afternoon showers and thunderstorms and our high in the low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 67 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 84%. Winds currently out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour. As I'd mentioned earlier here, we do have a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms today, mainly for this afternoon. They say some storms could produce heavy rainfall. Mostly cloudy today, high of 82, so a little cooler, a lot cooler actually than yesterday, with winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. They say anywhere from a quarter to a half inch of rain possible today. Tonight, we're looking at a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, 65 for an overnight low with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Could see another tenth to a quarter of inch of rain tonight. And then Wednesday, they're talking a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, still cooler, 79, maybe 80 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow night, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 65 degrees with east winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance of rain for Thursday, mostly sunny and 87. So warming back up a little bit there with north winds 5 to 10. Friday, no talk of rain, just sunny skies with a high of 90. And then Saturday and Sunday back with rain chances, 20% chance of showers on Saturday, mostly sunny and 89. Sunday, a 20% chance of showers, mostly sunny and 86. So, and then for Labor Day, 20% chance of rain, mostly sunny and 87. So that's what we're looking at weather-wise. More rain, good rain chances today and tonight, and back for the weekend. All right, it is 7:17. We're going to take about a 3-minute break, and then Sarah East with Loveless is going to join us on the other side of the break. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning. This is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 931 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady to higher market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold steady to $6 higher. Feeder cattle steady to $4 higher. Packer cows and bulls sold steady. 3 to 400 pound steers $232, $235. 3 to 400 pound heifers $190, $50, $196. 4 to 500 pound steers $206, $232. 4 to 500 pound heifers $182, $190, $50. 5 to 600 pound steers $186, $206. 5 to 600 pound heifers $161, $182. 6 to 700 pound steers $167, $186. 6 to 700 pound heifers $153, $161. 7 to 800 pound steers $156, $167. 7 to 800 pound heifers $148, $161. Packer cows $85 to $93. Canner and cutter cows $70 to $78. Packer bulls $1 to $107. Feeder bulls $76 to $85. Top half the cow-calf pairs $1,100 to $1,525 per pair. Top half the bred cows $900 to $1,110 per head. Mark your calendar. Next week's sale will be held on Tuesday in observance of Labor Day on Monday, and we appreciate the business. We'll talk to you next Tuesday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us back in studio, I should say, hold on. There we go. My mic thing I think it's about time to replace this one. It's getting a little squirrely. But joining us in studio this morning, there it goes again. Hold on. It was working great earlier now. There it goes. All right. Joining us in studio, sorry about that. Joining us in studio this morning, I'm going to get this out eventually. Sarah East is back with us with Lovelace Regional Hospital, certified physician's assistant. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Very good. I appreciate you letting me back in here again.
It makes it sound like we don't like. Hold on. Who are you again? No,
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you back.
Thank you.
So for folks, if you don't remember our last conversation, you deal a lot with folks that need. What don't realize or may not realize, but Botox, things like that. Most people think Botox, they think of wrinkles and
the cosmetic
side.
side.
The cosmetic side of things, which if I remember correctly, originally Botox came out to serve as a headache for migraines.
Yes.
Which it does do.
Yeah, and that was the main thing that we talked about last time was the migraine portion of the therapeutic Botox.
Yeah.
And then since then, they've kind of expanded it to other therapeutic reasons, which is what we're here today.
Yeah, so Botox is kind of a wonder medicine in many aspects where many people use it for was just one of those, hey, it just happens to do that too. That's not what we designed it for, but
and you're like, wow,
bonus.
look at how pretty her forehead looks now. Let's start using it for those wrinkles.
But so it was a happy accident, as Bob Ross would once say here on this. But really, what it sounds like is they're actually finding out even more stuff that they're saying, you know what, Botox is kind of has ability to do more than just headaches and make wrinkles go away here.
Yeah.
They're helping with, I'm guessing, perspiration control, things like that.
So a couple other things that we use therapeutic Botox, which is what I wanted to kind of bring to everybody's attention today, is what you were mentioning just now is what we call hyperhidrosis.
Okay.
And that's where you have excessive sweating, primarily armpits, hands, the bottom of your feet.
Okay.
That really can affect a person's life because they're embarrassed because they're always sweating. They have the wet stains on their armpits, and they don't want to go do anything because they're embarrassed. So we found that Botox helps with that. Also for patients who have had strokes in the past, and they can get spasticity of their arms and their legs to where they're having chronic flexion of their arms, like at the elbow, the wrist, the fingers. So we found Botox helps with that as well.
Oh, wow.
And then also for TMJ, where you get the locked jaw or the pain when you're chewing, we put Botox in your masseters and temporal muscles, and it calms the TMJ down as well.
And it keeps it from locking up as often or having the pain and those other issues associated with TMJ.
Yeah, so there's lots of good things about Botox as far as the therapeutic side.
Man, what's next? Like they're going to go, it's great in salad, too.
Yeah. don't mess with the burritos.
But that is cool that you know it really is a kind of a mini wonder drug in many aspects here. Whether if you need it as more of a just a self-esteem, wanting to feel and look better about yourself, to people that are dealing with chronic pain and other chronic issues, like migraines and things like that. That's and we were just talking basically for most people that listen know what I've been dealing with my wife for the last couple of weeks here. I'm a little nervous about doing some of the traditional migraine treatments and things for what you diagnosed to think is something like that. Yeah. But when you go buy like you said, a store-bought thing, you could be doing more harm than you realize sometimes. That's why they say consult a physician before.
On every single box it says that in big bold letters.
You know why. But really this could be, for some people, maybe the migraine thing, this is that answer for them. But if you're one of those folks that like you said, they just, you just are naturally a sweater. I get it. I know when I was younger, not so much now as I gotten older, I've kind of, adapted, but like feet and dudes. I don't know, feet and dudes, they're not supposed to smell good. I don't know what it is, but.
Have you gone to a dorm before?
You're right. But I'm thinking, for someone that's got really bad problems there, a couple of the treatments with Botox could basically eliminate that problem, and you spend a lot less money on socks and odor eaters. Mm-hmm. So, and same thing with, if it's the armpit area, how many shirts get ruined? How many, and just think the self-esteem side when, I got a big job interview, you're already nervous. And so if your body's reaction is to sweat profusely, then you're like, well, man, I'm never going to get the job because I look like I'm always scared all the time.
Like I just came out of a rainstorm.
Yeah, I get it. It can be a debilitating, just socially or psychologically thing, even if there's not, a medical condition per se, other than it's a minor inconvenience. And you probably have to drink a lot more fluids.
Yeah. And so with the hyperhidrosis, it is a medical condition where our body naturally needs sweat to regulate its temperature.
Sure.
I mean, that's what sweat is for.
Sure.
But some people produce excessive amount of sweats in those areas. And so what Botox does is it goes in and it blocks those nerve signals to the sweat glands that prevents it from forming the sweat.
Okay.
And it helps them out. From the insurance standpoint, there are about 2 medications that we can prescribe to try it first. But by the time they come to you as a medical provider saying, hey, this is a real problem. I've tried every deodorant across the board, every soap. I'm changing my shirt 3 times a day.
They're burning our skin because they've got such powerful deodorants in there.
Exactly. So by the time they come to us, we now offer the Botox so that we can help you to where, if you come and get a treatment about every 4 to 6 months, it calms that excessive sweating down and it really changes their outlook on life and to where they're more social and able to go out and do things.
So does it cause that area that, depending on where you put it, like if your armpits...
Push it about the armpits. Yeah.
Would those areas not sweat at all now, or would they sweat normally?
Well, it's kind of a pro and con. So depending on the amount you give, you can make it to where it doesn't sweat. But for the most part, you will still have a normal sweat without being excessive.
Well, you need to sweat because that, like you said, that's your body's regulating your temperature.
Yeah.
That's. And if you don't do that, you're going to overheat or freeze or a lot easier than you normally would here.
Yeah.
So you got to be mindful of that.
And the treatment is fairly simple. We do all these therapeutic Botox treatments in the office, and you can just numb the area just very simply with a cream. It takes maybe 5 minutes to do both armpits, and the patients get great relief almost instantly.
Okay, so it's a little different than when you apply for like the forehead for.
Well, within the week, you should start seeing some improvement.
Good deal. Mm-hmm. Excellent. What and how is it something that you have to do because I know with Botox for like cosmetic side, you have to do it.
Yeah,
every so
months.
month.
You would do it about every 4 to 6 months, just depending on how fast your nerves regenerate. Because what we're doing is we're blocking those nerve signals.
Gotcha.
So depending on how soon those nerves regenerate. So going back to the Botox for migraines, patients come in on an every 13-week schedule to be getting the re-up on their Botox.
Okay, so it's similar. You just get on the schedule there and follow along, and then it should assuming you stay on your appointments and everything, should be good to go.
You should be good. And, coming from the TMJ standpoint, patients who clench their teeth a lot, when they're nervous or when they're sleeping, they're constantly having jaw pain if they're excessive gum chewers. So we can put Botox in your masseter muscles, which is right here, and we put a little bit in your temporal muscle here. And what that does is that calms those two muscles down to where you don't clench and tighten so much.
Gotcha.
To where that helps with that pain that you're having in your jaw area.
Is TMJ something that you can develop at any time, or is that something you're born with?
No,
or is
you
that...
develop it just because your habits.
Gotcha. So it's all habit forming.
Yeah, a lot of times dentists treat it. They'll give you mouth guards that prevent you from clenching, different things of that sort.
Okay.
That's one of the other treatments. But when it gets to a point where they're wearing their mouth guard, they're still clenching during the day, or you chew excessively, we put the Botox there in the muscles, which kind of help not completely deaden, but weaken it to where you're not clenching so much.
Gotcha. Because I imagine at some point you're starting to wear down bone and things.
Yeah, you can wear your teeth down, and so your dentist will say, hey, your teeth are kind of getting flat back there. Are you a clencher? And then that's when they give you the mouth guard, especially at nighttime, to prevent that.
Well, and anytime you're in the head area, like anytime you have pain in one way, it seems to impact the whole head. So like if it's a jaw issue and then you're having jaw pain, that pain travels up your ears, and you know what I mean? And so it feels a lot worse than it maybe actually is.
Yeah.
And so why deal with that?
Muscles. Yeah. And so that's why I love the Botox for the TMJ as well, because that one as well, people come in, they have chronic TMJ, they hurt all the time, they go and open their mouth or go bite something that's painful. So we put that Botox in those two areas, and they're good to go after that for a while.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And so these are great options for folks if you're, and that's you, because these are the kind of things that people deal with, and they're just like, oh, I'm fine. And then especially if it's a mom or a dad where they're worried about the kids, and like, nah, don't worry about me, I'll be good. Let's take care of the kids.
I'll take care of it. Yeah. And then they don't want to wear their mouth guard, and they're just miserable all the time. And it's come see me, and I'll give you Botox.
This is a simple procedure. You're in and out. Come in once every couple months or so here, and get on that schedule. And it's just like anything else you probably do in your life. When you go to a gym membership or any other, you just sign up and go do your thing
just
and
get it done.
Yeah, and it'll save you a world of headache and hurt, literally and figuratively here with the headache.
Exactly. Yeah. And then going on to the spasticity, from the stroke standpoint. So you can have a hemorrhagic stroke or an ischemic stroke, but one of the most common post-complications is spasticity.
Okay.
And what that is where your muscles contract, like they get so tight to where your arm flexes either at the elbow.
It's like freezes or something?
Yeah, freezes like in the elbow, the wrist, the hand, the fingers, to where you're at a full flexion, essentially, in different levels of the arm or the leg as well. And what happens is the tendons and the soft tissues get frozen to where it becomes painful after a while. And it's most common within the first year of a stroke. So if you have physical therapy coming in, trying to help manipulate and open your range of motion of your arm, they can do a lot if they get on it right away. But that's where Botox comes in as well, therapeutic Botox, because we're able to go and loosen those muscles to allow the physical therapist to come in and help relax the arm and the hands.
Kind of like, say you got a slinky, for those folks that remember slinkies, and it's like trying to play with a slinky when it's all tight and coiled up.
Yeah, when it's all coiled up, you can't stretch it out.
It doesn't go downstairs alone or in pairs and make a slinkity sound. It doesn't do any of that. But with the Botox, it allows, in essence, your slinky to come out and come in and stretch, and so which allows it to move. So that's in essence what that Botox is doing. It's going and breaking up that froze up muscle, basically, and allowing your joints and everything to do rehab and get you back to your movement and all that too.
Because that's one of the biggest things for the post-stroke is that patients end up becoming reliant on caregivers because they lose their ability to feed themselves, dress themselves, bathe themselves, all because they lose that full function of either one arm or the leg. And so if we can come in and help to where they can at least open their grip, relax and open their hand to where they can at least maybe pick something up, that gives them this huge, quality of life improvement on helping them to where they feel much better and trying to get some of their independence back.
I would even imagine too, it's just the mental side of it, where if you're not seeing results in your rehab there, or feeling like you are, you start buying less into the program, and you're starting to less likely to show up and do your rehabs and things. Whereas these Botox injections could actually give you the results you're looking for. And it's like, okay, these Botox along with my rehab, now I'm getting as close to full motion of my joint or whatever it is I lost in the first place. And it gives it's kind of like one needs the other to really give the patient that full success story.
It covers all the bases, and people don't realize, but 25 to 40% of patients have spasticity after a stroke. And that's terrible numbers. So if we can help you and work as a team, between the doctors and the physical therapists and therapeutic Botox, that helps tremendously on improving the quality of life.
Sure. Well, and I think we all know we have family members or something when people hit those certain milestones where they lose those abilities. Life in general just tends to go downhill because, maybe depression, maybe all the other issues that start creeping in. It's like, well, I guess I'm stowed up. I'm not moving. I'm old. I'm useless. And then all of the mental health stuff starts coming in. So I'm not trying to put like this, major, this is going to save your life, but in reality, this is that type of thing that could be the difference between someone going to care and fight through and versus I'm just getting old and I'm giving up. This might be that difference maker to allow that to happen, to keep people wanting to pursue and fight and enjoy life again.
Yes.
So
they start seeing the results, and again, just like the other Botox, you have to do it continuously, but on the dosing of it is kind of more of a trial and error. We start conservative just to see what we get as far as relaxing that muscle and whether it's the arm or the hand and the fingers. And then, I always want to explain to patients, hey, if it's not enough this time, I'm going to be seeing you back and we're going to do a little bit more next time. But we want to titrate it to the dose that gives you that freedom of opening the range of motion and being able to utilize, hopefully, your arm, in the near future.
Yeah, it's all all right. It's kind of like, when you make something the first time, all right, add a little bit more liquid. Yeah, that's still too dry. Let's add a little bit more. It's no different than that. She's basically just, all right, let's put a little in and see how your body reacts. And if it reacts positively and it doesn't cover what we need to do, then we can up it. If it happens to be enough, then awesome, we nailed it. But
exactly.
But that's really what's going on there. And so if you don't get if you don't get super positive results first time, there's other things. We're just trying to see if we're going in the right direction with your treatment or if we're way off base here.
Yes.
And that gives you that indicator.
So. Yes. And so that's why I'm really excited about promoting it, is just to let people know that, hey, if you're having this issue, there's options for you. If you're not getting, you're doing the therapy and you're just not getting those results, there's more options to try, and people don't think about Botox. They don't really realize that it's therapeutic, and so that's why I really love promoting it on this side of it.
Sure. While we're talking Botox, I kind of want to get back to the headaches just real quick.
Yes.
And can you explain what qualifies as a migraine versus a regular headache? Like people that get just frequent headaches, are those part of migraines, or is that a different? I know there's 100 possibilities when you get a headache on what it could be, but what is that major delineator that's a migraine versus just a garden variety headache?
So from the migraine, it's debilitating. So you have the light sensitivity, the sound sensitivity. Most of the time, a lot of women or men will have nausea with it. They physically have to go into a closed room.
Light sensitivity.
Yeah. And so it's the debilitating side of it. So a minor headache, you can still function and do your job. But a migraine will knock you down to where you have to physically remove yourself from whatever you're doing.
Okay.
Go lay down, try and close your eyes, relax.
So the difference is the pain level, basically.
Correct.
If it's one where you can't, be in a room that's bright or noises and all that's impacting, you're just like, ugh, then that's probably more in the migraine territory versus.
And then from the Botox, they require, from the insurance standpoint, at least 8 migraines a month. So you can have a daily headache, but they want you to at least say, hey, I have a regular headache all the time, just a gnawing ache all the time.
Sure.
But it turns into a full migraine at least 8 times during a month.
And each person's different on that. Some, they get them for maybe a short period of time. Some, they're done for the day. It's
or
like
several
they get
days.
Yeah. So it does vary on the debilitatingness of the migraine. But if you're seeing or experiencing light sensitivity, noise sensitivity, nauseous, all that, then odds are pretty good that that's a migraine territory. So you need to lay down, or at least, do, go in a cool, dark room and just shut the world off. That's what a lot of folks that suffer do that. So.
Yeah, and then they'll take, the over-the-counters, but it's one of those things, kind of like what you're mentioning with your wife, is always go make sure with the healthcare provider that it's not anything more serious before we just kind of write it off and take ibuprofen or Tylenol.
Well, and that's the thing. It's kind of like COVID. You hear the symptoms and you're like, yeah, that sounds like a million things. Well, headache is a symptom for just about every human affliction out there.
Yes, everything.
So just because you have a headache doesn't mean it's migraine, and doesn't mean it's serious or not serious, or it could be. It could be, and my wife and I were, we learned this firsthand here over this last month, but yeah, it's not, but at the same time, don't run around, because I've heard this too, where I've got a bunch of friends now, because we really don't know what caused this, that are like, every time I bump my head now, I'm nervous, I'm going to do it. And it's like, well, live your life. Don't do that.
We don't want you to be in a bubble either.
But just be aware that, when something doesn't seem normal, don't just chalk it off as a bump and bruise. Maybe have an expert look at it and determine whether those headaches are migraine, or you just got a cold, or you just stress out and you need to take care of yourself a little bit.
If you have a headache, one day every couple months, it's probably from stress or something else going on. But when you have the criteria is when you have worsening headaches, like it's not going away, you're taking over the counters and it's just continuously every day, that's when you need to seek attention. Because a lot of times, if it's just a migraine sporadically, it's probably just a mild headache. But if you're getting full migraines and they're becoming more progressive, then you need to get that.
Is there any kind of family history? Like if you have family members that get migraines and stuff, does that increase your odds, or is there any of that?
It could. I'm not exactly sure on the statistics on the hereditary side of it,
Gotcha.
But it is possible where my dad always got migraines and I get migraines, but that's where you should still get it checked out.
Okay. I just didn't know if it was more of a lifestyle thing that causes them, or there's a DNA thing that causes it.
A whole multitude of things.
And the answer is yes.
Yes. Anything you want to come up with, Mike? Yes.
Aliens,
Yep, there you go.
Ninjas flying from, yes.
Yep.
Cheeseburgers, Silent killer.
Yes. Yeah. So there's more information on going back to the stroke side with the spasticity. If you go onto the American Stroke Association online, they actually have a full, first thing on the top of the page is a full breakdown on spasticity and different treatments, and then obviously talks about Botox on there as well.
Yeah.
So I was kind of excited to see that on there, kind of promoting it from their end too.
Gotcha. I know I'm jumping back and forth, but back to the perspiration and things like that. Is there like an age limit on that where you're kind of, because I know, teenagers and things want it, but is that a good area to start with them, or is that too young? Or?
No, if you have excessive sweating, so there's an actual classification, like a scoring system.
Okay.
So if you have excessive sweating and you meet the scoring system, then you qualify for it.
Okay. Because I didn't know if part of that's just growing up, because teenage boys sweat and
they do
spew all kinds of stuff.
But that's where you want to talk about deodorant and hygiene.
Sure.
And
this isn't the first line of defense here. This is after several of trying other things, deodorants, things like that. But when you just get out of the shower, put your deodorant on, and then put your shirt on, and then a half hour later you're dripping and sweating, you didn't go to the gym or nothing, then maybe this might be something that we need to talk to an expert about.
Right, right. Yeah, and so that was, that's one of the things that girls especially are very self-conscious about. Boys are used to it. How you kept talking about, they work out, they excessively sweat. But girls are a little bit more self-conscious because they don't want to have the sweat.
They don't sweat, they perspire. I remember.
Right, And so, you'll see this a lot more in the younger girls wanting to get this treated.
Sure. But I think it's, equally, because I remember back in, when I was in my 20s and stuff and sweated more and stuff. And I had there's a couple of those, days you wake up and you put your shirt on and by the time you get to your job or whatever, like, dude.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. I did my my schooling in Miami, Florida, so it's humid all the time. So imagine driving to school at 8 in the morning and you're already sweating because of humidity.
Yeah.
But this is excessive sweating.
Yes, this is where, like you said, it was like you're just sitting there and you got pit stains that are showing up, and you're not really exerting yourself or doing anything to cause your body to need to cool down in those areas too. And so if you have those problem areas, I'm guessing, your feet, hands, probably behind the knee. That's probably an area that probably gets a little common for some folks too.
Yes.
And then your armpits, things like that. But definitely, please talk, and that's just it. That's where you need to talk to Sarah, the expert here, because she can tell you, no, that's just garden variety. We can Botox is not. You're not there yet. Let's talk about changing your deodorant or doing something like that. But that starts the track record. If that's not giving you what you need, then Sarah, all right, let's start with a little Botox. And like we said, and who knows? Because we don't want you to just turn into the Sahara there and start overload. And next thing you know, it's like my arms won't move because there's no friction from.
Well, from the hyperhidrosis, it is pretty much a set dosing that we use on the armpits that have been studied to work well on the sweat glands. From the stroke side with the spasticity, it is a tighter dosing.
Gotcha. It depends on how.
Same thing with the cervical dystonia with the neck spasms. It's a tighter dosing.
Now with the stroke, for folks that are recovering from stroke, can you do it pretty much anywhere? I mean, wherever they're experiencing.
Well, right now it's just approved for arms and legs.
Okay, I didn't know if there were any kind of facial stuff that they can help with that. Or...
I mean, you'll have the facial drooping and so forth, but that's not where the Botox is going to help you because it's already weakened.
Okay.
And so you got to realize what Botox is doing is it's weakening the muscle.
Gotcha.
And so it's more where you're having the contracture of a muscle that you want to put it.
So it'd be the opposite. To make it droop worse.
Correct.
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense now. I just, when we got to wrinkles, and I'm like, oh, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it goes this way. Tighten up one way and go this way. I don't know. But But point is, if you're dealing with any of this stuff, if you got issues from stroke, just being stowed up in your arms, legs, things like that, this can help. Sweating, if you got that's an issue, please see her. And then, of course, if you have migraines or I just want my face to look a little nicer.
There you go. I do that on the side as well.
All of the above can be done.
All of the above, yes. And then the neck spasms, we talked about that last time with the cervical dystonia. If you have chronic neck spasms, the Botox takes care of that as well.
Gotcha. And by the way, it's pretty, it's not that painful. It's a very simple little procedure. It's not anything. Because I know, here Botox, and it's the little needle injections for the cosmetic. It's just a little pinch, essentially. I call it spicy. Yeah, it's kind of like acupuncture. Like, when they do, they put the little neat pins, you don't really feel those when they put them. It's the same in that ballpark. It's not like a tattoo or something.
Yeah, no, it's not painful. Yeah, it's not painful.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're experiencing any of these things, please call her office direct, set up an appointment. You can reach out to Sarah at Loveless at 575-627-4200. Again, that's 575-627-4200. Or stop by the Loveless Healthcare Center, 1112 North Main Street there.
Yes.
Not the hospital.
Not the hospital. We're in the clinic.
In the clinic itself.
On Main Street.
So, but you can walk to the hospital to get the burritos. Yeah. So no burritos in the clinic. Sorry. Of course I'm going to say it. They were waiting for it.
I know. You and the burritos. I still have not received a burrito from you yet, Mike. Come on.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're really good. They're, you know what? If you got wrinkles in your belly, they'll smooth them right out. You eat enough of those things.
I guess you can look at it one way. I'm not promoting that. That's all, Mike.
You'll die happy at least. But definitely call, schedule an appointment, set up a consultation with Sarah East.
Yes.
She can sit down and go and tell you exactly, even if maybe Botox, you're not there yet for that, she can definitely start you on the process and say, all right, let's try this, and this first.
Yes.
And if that doesn't see the results we want, then let's get you into the Botox. Let's start that process, and who knows. Do you ever get folks that actually use Botox for multiple, hey, I got headaches, but also trying to get the wrinkles. I mean, do you get? Is it a two for one kind of deal for some folks?
Naturally, when we do the Botox for migraines, we are treating the frontal area.
Mm-hmm.
So you already are getting that treated just from the therapeutic side. But there is if you talk to an esthetician, there is a huge difference between placement of Botox for the wrinkles versus placement of Botox for the migraines.
Gotcha.
So the
location.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the way Botox for migraines is placed, it's set certain locations that you have to do 155 units around the head.
Okay.
But for cosmetic, there's an actual technique of placing the Botox to where you don't affect, the eye or anything.
Does it
way.
Is it like for headaches and things like that? Is it more about pressure points and things, or does that not come into play?
No, it's for migraines.
Okay. I didn't know if all right, we inject near the pressure points. That does a certain, I don't know. I'm confusing my Eastern and Western medicine, I think. This is why I'm a DJ and not a doctor. Don't take medical advice from a DJ. That's just saying.
Okay.
And
you
conversely,
could be the next Dr. Phil or something.
And conversely, don't take radio advice from a doctor. Just saying, go where the experts
Exactly.
are. She can't help you get a commercial on the radio.
No.
I can't help you, with anything else.
No. Yes.
But again, reach out to Sarah's office, 575-627-4200, or come by 1112 North Main Street at the Loveless Health Care Center there and inquire about any of this stuff. And of course, if that's not your problem, but there's something else,
All primary care.
There's many other physicians and specialists that can help you there in the building too. So don't hesitate to just go. Is y'all's website is just loveless.com? I don't remember off the top of my head. It's Loveless. If you go to loveless.com, you can see all of the different services that Loveless covers here in Roswell. And so if you need a knee replacement or want to have a kid or something, they can help out with all those things.
And we have cardiology as well now, so
Good
we're very
deal.
excited about that.
Their heart is back.
Yes. We have the heart back.
Good. Again, one more time, 575-627-4200, or stop by 1112 North Main. And while you're there, bring Sarah a burrito from the hospital. It's just,
So I can finally agree with you.
Yeah, it's really good.
All
It is. You're gonna want another one. I don't know what it is. Ask that chef. I don't know. I don't know if they just pay him so much that he never wants to. Because I feel like he could go to some Michelin restaurant or create his own Michelin restaurant and do something.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Brian was agreeing. There is a special touch on it.
Yes.
All right.
Well, did we get anything? Is there anything you wanted to mention that we?
No, I think we covered all of it.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure you got a bunch of patients waiting for your help right now, so we'll let you get to work.
Thank you.
Thank you for spending a few minutes with us here. Sorry we kept her late, guys. She's coming.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mike.
you, guys.
I appreciate it.
We'll see you next time. All right, it is 7:51. Let us get you up to date with the news and Kim Commando and quick break. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The New Mexico Grown Coalition, a network of public institutions, nonprofit and community-based organizations, and people working together to strengthen community food systems, are announcing the winners of this year's Golden Chili Awards. The coalition next month will honor 28 winners to include 11 preschools, 12 school districts, 5 senior centers, and New Mexico farmers around the state during a virtual awards ceremony on September 14th. An Artesia teenager killed last week when the vehicle he was a passenger in collided with a semi-truck. New Mexico State Police responded to the two-vehicle crash on US 285 near West Atoka Road, just south of Artesia. The initial investigation indicated one vehicle was traveling south. For reasons still under investigation, the 19-year-old driver attempted to turn onto West Atoka Road, but turned directly in front of a 2015 Peterbilt semi-truck that was headed north on 285. The semi-truck struck the passenger side of the Dodge. A 15-year-old passenger in the vehicle was killed. No names are released. You're up to date from the Pecos Valley Newsroom. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
We've all heard stories of people hiking, getting lost, and in another emergency situation, tragically dying because they had no cell phone signal to call for help. Very soon, the smartphone we carry around will use satellite technology that promises a cell phone signal anywhere. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. There are about 500,000 square miles in the United States that have absolutely no cell phone signals from any carrier. Enter satellite-based mobile services, or as long as you have a view of the sky, you can call or text. Satellite phone service is not meant to replace your carrier. It works side by side your current plan. T-Mobile is the first company to announce a deal with Elon Musk's SpaceX scheduled to launch next year. And look for a big push on September 7th. That's when Apple announces its new iPhones that will also allow a way to use satellites to have a signal anywhere. Get more tech news and tips with my longer daily podcast. It's called Kim Commando Today. Here's a question. Is there anything that matters more than the safety of you and your loved ones? Of course not. So isn't it strange then that many home security companies don't act that way? This is why I use and trust SimpliSafe Home Security. Their advanced security technology helps me sleep at night, and they always put me and my family's safety first. With 24/7 professional monitoring, SimpliSafe's agents call you the moment a threat is detected and dispatch police or first responders in an emergency. SimpliSafe's monitoring agents truly care about your well-being and are highly trained to help keep you calm and safe during stressful situations. SimpliSafe's customer-first policies make sure you're taken care of with affordable plans starting at less than $1 a day, because feeling safe at home shouldn't break the bank. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at SimpliSafeKim.com. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring at SimpliSafeKim.com. At SimpliSafeKim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. All that moist air coming in as part of the monsoon will be shifting into our area today, so we've got a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could have heavy rainfall today, our afternoon high in the mid-80s. Lingering showers overnight and down to 65, and then a little bit more sunshine on Wednesday, but still some afternoon showers and thunderstorms and our high in the low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's talk a little girls soccer action, shall we? The Roswell Coyotes were in Las Cruces for a big tournament over the weekend, and the Coyotes come back home with an overall 5-2 record. Roswell lost its first game of that tournament 1-0 to Gadsden, and then defeated on that same day Santa Teresa by a score of 4-0, and then finished off the tournament with a 5-0 shutout of Deming on Saturday. Roswell back in action tonight against Los Lunas. That starts at 6 o'clock. Thursday, the Coyotes will host Oregon Mountain. And then Saturday, we'll travel to Los Lunas for a game starts at 11:30. Goddard, meanwhile, beat Ruidoso last game. That was last Thursday, 7-1. The Rockets have a tough task today playing at Carlsbad. That starts at 6. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Walmart filed a motion on Monday to dismiss a Federal Trade Commission lawsuit that accuses the nation's largest retailer of allowing its money transfer services to be used by scam artists. The FTC alleges in its lawsuit that for years, Walmart failed to properly secure the money transfer services offered at its stores, stealing hundreds of millions of dollars from customers. The agency said Walmart didn't properly train its employees, failed to alert customers, and used procedures that allowed fraudsters to cash out at its stores. The National Labor Relations Board has reversed a Trump-era decision by finding that Tesla can't stop factory employees. It ordered Tesla to stop enforcing an overly broad uniform policy that effectively stops production workers at Tesla's Fremont, California factory from wearing black shirts with the United Auto Workers union logos. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander at Washington.
Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I know you've heard me say that you can trust Trustmark, but I want you to know what that looks like in real life. A few years ago, we installed a beautiful new roof for an older woman who was recently widowed. She was an artist and colors were really important to her. So when she said she didn't like the color of a brand new roof, we took that seriously. She had picked the color and signed off on it, but I just kept thinking, if she's going to walk into her house every day and be disappointed, then we're just going to redo it. So we did. We ripped that beautiful new roof off and replaced it with a slightly different color, and she was thrilled. Yes, it cost us quite a bit of money to make her happy, but I want you to know you can trust Trustmark to make it exactly right every time. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters. On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A surge in fighting on the southern front line and a Ukrainian claim of new attacks on Russian positions fuels speculation that a long-expected counteroffensive to try to turn the tide of war has now begun. An update from the BBC's Sasha Schlichter.
The latest briefing from the presidency speaks of powerful explosions throughout Monday and into Tuesday morning, and of heavy fighting across Kherson region. Video online shows black plumes of smoke rising above Kherson city. Regional officials said the long-awaited offensive was the beginning of the de-occupation of Kherson region.
And Russia may want to go after a refund on some high-tech gear it obtained from Iran for the war in Ukraine.
According to Biden administration officials, Russia has experienced technical problems with Iranian-made drones that were acquired for its war on Ukraine. U.S. intelligence believes the delivery of unmanned aerial vehicles this month was likely part of a Russian...
Youngkin and his Republican colleagues vow to fight to overturn California-style vehicle emission rules that would outlaw the sale of new gas-powered vehicles in Virginia by 2035. Youngkin calls it a ridiculous edict, adding that California's out-of-touch laws have no place in our Commonwealth. The Virginia law was passed by Democrats who ran things in the state at the time. Mississippi's Governor Tate Reeves declaring a state of emergency as flood-ravaged Jackson, Mississippi runs out of drinking water. The city's water treatment system hard hit by recent flooding. Reeves' plea to Jackson residents, do not drink the water. The Dow up 6 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon 2 factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
3 of 12 unions negotiating with the nation's biggest freight railroads have reached a tentative agreement with the carriers.
The deal will deliver 24% raises in line with what a special presidential panel of arbitrators recommended earlier this month to resolve the stalemate before a strike could happen. The tentative deal covers more than 15,000 workers, although the 2 biggest rail unions that represent engineers and conductors said over the weekend they still haven't been able to reach a deal their members would accept. The railroads have until mid-September to reach agreements with all their unions before federal law would allow them to go on strike. But if it gets to that point, Congress is expected to step in. Keith Peters reporting.
The UN and Pakistan appealing for $160 million in emergency funding for nearly 500,000 displaced victims of record-breaking floods that have killed more than 1,100 people since mid-June. News and analysis at townhall.com. Elon Musk's legal team is demanding to hear from a whistleblowing former Twitter executive.
That whistleblower could help bolster Musk's case for backing out of a $44 billion deal to buy the social media company. Twitter's former security chief, Peter Zatko, received a subpoena Saturday from Musk's team, according to Zatko's lawyers and court records. The billionaire Tesla CEO has spent months alleging that the company he agreed to acquire undercounted its fake and spam accounts, and that he shouldn't have to consummate the deal as a result. John Scott reporting.
Walmart has filed a motion to dismiss a lawsuit by the Federal Trade Commission accusing the retailer of allowing its money transfer services to be used by scam artists. It says the suit is a serious case of agency overreach on the part of the FTC. Once again on Wall Street, the Dow now down 16 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8. All right, this is becoming a problem now.
It was an issue about a week ago.
Yeah, there it goes. There you go. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not Friday, but, you know, it's Tuesday. Yeah. It's not Monday.
It is not.
Therefore, it is better.
That's right.
And it's kind of overcast. Feels like rain.
It's nice.
Makes me happy inside.
It's downright nice. See, there's that point on a rainy day when the clouds start to part and it's just miserable because you got the sun beating down. No, the clouds are like you know, Hulk Hogan's hair. They're all around the sides. And there's no hope for any kind of shade. And it's humid on top of it. That sucks.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Yeah, it's nice.
This is great weather.
Yeah.
I'll take this any day of the week. I would move to Seattle just for it to be like this all the time.
Yeah, but you get tired of it.
I don't think I would.
I think you would. After a year
I think I'd get tired of constantly being like it was a week ago Saturday.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like that all the time in Seattle. I think it's like this all the time in Seattle, and occasionally they get a storm like what we had on that Saturday.
It's a lot of angsty people there.
I can work with that.
I think they're angsty because it's always cloudy.
Yeah, they stay inside and watch TV a lot. I can work with that.
Like British people.
Yeah, ooh, I can work with that too. That was the other thing is Great Britain was going through just the biggest heat wave of the last century.
I didn't realize that they didn't have like air conditioning in England or London at least.
It makes sense. It's kind of like, well, I've heard a lot of the same thing about New England, not to the extent of that, but like New England, New Hampshire, the Vermont.
Well, I have a little experience there.
The northern area that a lot of times their summers don't get hot enough to justify owning an air conditioner, so they just don't.
I think they are lying to themselves because my grandparents lived in upstate New York.
Upstate?
Yeah. And growing up, you know, we'd spend a couple weeks during the summer out in upstate New York. And
you have to watch Book of Mormon to understand that reference.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Binghamton, more specifically. Shenango Bridge, really specifically, but Binghamton, New York area is where they lived. And we'd go over there for the summers for a couple weeks. And they lived in an old Cape Cod style house for folks that, it's very popular in New England, Cape Cod style houses. Basically a 2-story with the windows kind of darted out from the roof in the front there a little bit. That's called a Cape Cod style. It's a 2-story.
I did not know that.
But anyway, so did I just draw on my shirt? No. I thought I did. I love my new pen I got from the Historical Society in the group. It's my red pen is back.
It works too good, though.
It does. It's very liberal with the ink.
It's got the right stuff. So Cape Cod style house,
and we're talking the movie, not the boy band.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But actually, no, we're talking about the new dating app strictly for conservatives. Did you hear about this?
No.
Have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
I've not.
Yeah, no. There's a new conservative dating app called The Right Stuff.
Really?
Yes, and it's their big selling point is they only have 2 genders on this site.
That's convenient.
Yeah, you can only be a man. You can only be or a woman. You can only date. I think the opposite. I don't know exactly how it works, but I saw an ad for it the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
They'll give everybody a website.
They will.
Now.
They really will. Dude, I'm surprised they have not created a conservative dating app called Make America Date Again.
Yeah.
Like how it's right there. It's right there. Come on.
What happened to Farmers Only? I haven't seen their ads in a while.
It's still around. I'm sure they're probably they're laying low right now. Maybe a few scandals. I don't know, but as far as I know, it's still a thing.
They have farming scandals on Farmers Only.
Well, you're dealing with a very diminutive type when you're dealing with farmers, so I would assume.
Well, the problem is the farmers got infiltrated.
No, the thing is the lawyers of the J-Date people got a hold of them and they put a kibosh on it, if
they
you will.
Combined with... Anyway, so the Cape Cod style house, basically, they only had air conditioning in the bedroom upstairs. Downstairs did not. And I argue they could have used air conditioning downstairs.
Do you feel like it would need it?
I would have said yes. But
yeah, I watch a show that's based in London, and they were talking about the heat wave this summer and how about 2 years ago that the company, the CEO of the company, invested in a portable AC unit, and everybody on the staff just laughed and laughed and laughed because they thought there's no point in it and it was a pointless purchase. When are we ever going to use this? And lo and behold, the summer of hell came.
Yeah. But I never realized England had it. So, but I would argue our New England, maybe. See, I have relatives in Massachusetts too, but he had air conditioning.
I've just heard that in large portions, especially like early day, like 40s, 50s, back in the day, that air conditioning was sort of like unheard of.
It's like their internet; it was very sporadic back then.
Right. they only had dial-up. They only had dial-up air conditioning. It was annoying. You had to like go through the whole process. No, it was all gas powered.
I would argue there's probably a lot more people in America didn't have air conditioning in the 1940s compared to today.
Sure.
They probably needed it less earlier up in New England.
At that point, they were still running manned missions to mountains to pull ice down for ice boxes. Sven was still a thing back then. But no, I've just heard like people say, like in Canada, for example, like in like the 80s, 90s, it was sort of like a thing where they just didn't have air conditioners because it wasn't something they felt was necessary.
And I think that's true for the most part. But some of us just, I guess if you live there all the time and you're, but I don't know. I go back and I'm like, dude, put an air conditioner in here. I mean, if you don't like it, don't use it. But dang, at least have the ability to make it comfortable in here whenever you want to.
Or meet me halfway. How about a dehumidifier? Could we go with that, maybe? Just take a little bit of the suck out of the air.
Yeah. Damp rid get those damp rid things around your house.
Yeah.
No, you will, because now that's something you do notice when you go like back east or New England or especially if you go to houses in like wooded areas, you go and look at the roofs, especially houses that have been there for a while, you'll see a lot of like moss or just like things that grow well in damp spaces, just growing on roofs of houses.
Well, if it's not like swampy humidity, it's salty sea air they're dealing with. So yeah, it's coming from
if you're like
side.
on the ocean, but you're farther inland, it's kind of like here.
Yeah,
it's the same. But anyway, I think I'm done with this conversation.
Point is, get air conditioning.
There you go.
It's a simple investment.
It's a good thing.
I say this when I have no air conditioning either in my home or my car right now.
Well, see, that's why you're a proponent. Air conditioning, good.
Absolutely.
I don't have it. I want it.
Unless you want to lose 10 to 20 pounds over the course of a summer, then by all means, who needs it?
Or a weekend.
Yeah, or just a busy weekend. Yeah.
Sure. Jacob Roebuck's going to join us here in just a bit, give us an update on the Roswell Christmas Railway, but also talk about the newest attraction coming here to Roswell, Bricktown. Talking a little bit about that with Jacob here this morning. Later on this hour, we'll get you up to date with the local news and your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But before we do any of that, let's take a gander at that weather. I think we're getting rain today. There's a pretty good chance. So here it is.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. All that moist air coming in as part of the monsoon will be shifting into our area today, so we've got a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could have heavy rainfall today, our afternoon high in the mid-80s. Lingering showers overnight and down to 65, and then a little bit more sunshine on Wednesday, but still some afternoon showers and thunderstorms and our high in the low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 68 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 81%. Winds currently out of the west at 12 miles per hour. Today we are looking at a 70% chance at rain showers. They're saying mainly for this afternoon. They're saying some of these storms could produce some heavy rainfall. Mostly cloudy for the day with a high of 82. Northeast winds at around 10 miles per hour. They're saying anywhere between a quarter and a half inch of rain possible for today. Tonight, we're looking at a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, 65 for an overnight low with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Could see another tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain this evening. For you Wednesday, we are looking at rain chances some more here. We're looking at a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy. Cooler tomorrow, 79. We'll not even get to 80 tomorrow with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. We're looking at a 20% chance of rain tomorrow night. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 65 with east winds 5 to 10. 20% chance of rain Thursday as well, mostly sunny and 87. Friday, no talk of rain, just sunny skies, a high of 91. And then weekend, your Labor Day weekend, 20% chance of showers Saturday, mostly sunny 89. 20% chance of showers Sunday, mostly sunny and 86, and then on Monday, Labor Day, a 20% chance of rain, mostly sunny and 87. So temp-wise, pretty nice. And there's an 80% chance it won't rain each day. So I think a Labor Day weekend might be pretty good. Just a thought. All right, it is 8:16. We're going to take a quick commercial break, about a minute and a half break here, and then Jacob Roebuck will join us on the other side. We'll talk Christmas Railway and Bricktown on the other side. Don't go away.
In times of uncertainty, one thing seems to be constant. Crime tends to rise. Zenith Security Services, a locally owned company that's invested in our community, reminds you that for less than 5 quarters a day, you can be proactive in protecting your home, family, and assets with a monitored alarm from a top UL-rated company. The hardest calls we receive at Zenith Security are those needing our services after the fact. Call Zenith Security Services at 575-626-3521 to schedule your free security assessment today.
All About Spas and Leisure Living is looking for a full-time sales associate for their showroom at 3700 North Main Street in Roswell. Do you enjoy working with people? Are you energetic, motivated, and driven? Apply in person. Come to the All About Spas showroom across from Discount Tire in Roswell and fill out an application. Base pay guarantee plus commissions. Prior sales experience is helpful but not necessary. We are offering mentoring, training, and will invest in your success. Apply in person and come be a part of the team. All About Spas is an equal opportunity employer.
The National Education Association of New Mexico, a union of teachers and school staff, believes every child deserves to learn at a school that inspires their imagination, cultivates their curiosity, and ensures a fulfilling life. Public schools should provide all our students with small class sizes and one-on-one attention. NEA New Mexico asks you to join us so together we can end the teacher and staff shortage and invest in our public education system once and for all. Sponsored by NEA New Mexico.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
It's my kind of workout. Good morning. It is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Jacob Roebuck back with us. Morning, sir. How you doing today?
Good morning. I am fantastic. I'm awake. I'm here.
That's a start.
Us creative guys, we like staying up working. We start.
You're night owls.
Yeah, we start working at like 7 p.m.
Yeah, the juices flow in the evening.
And then, about 3 o'clock, we kind of fade off, and then get up whenever,
Whenever you're allowed to, basically.
Yeah.
Sleep as late as you're allowed to. But yeah, I had to get up a little early this morning.
Which is all right. It's all right. It was weird. It was 8 o'clock. I was driving over here, and there was traffic.
Yeah? That happens at 8 a.m.
Apparently, there's an 8 a.m. rush.
Yeah.
Maybe something to do with school or something. I don't know.
Yeah, kids, they insist on going to work and school and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
so it was great.
But when you're not hustling, bustling, living your busy lives, Jacob likes to give you things to do when you got downtime
We
going on.
sure do.
That's kind of
We
where
sure
he
do,
likes
yeah.
to specialize. Obviously, probably your biggest attraction everyone knows you for is the Roswell Christmas Railway.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which we got some exciting news to talk about that as well here. But before we get into that, let's talk about your latest invention or idea to come to Roswell here.
It's interesting because Christmas Railway has birthed two attractions. We have Spaceport Roswell, which is the virtual reality attraction downtown, and that started as we were experimenting with VR as a exhibit there at Christmas Railway, and then it came out. Well,
it was fun. I remember that first year you started doing VR and getting the chance to see that little circle and just kind of and obviously that was early in the VR game too. So even from that little deal you did a couple years ago, it's a lot more advanced now.
Yes, it does keep moving on. Obviously the most important thing, whether it's new technology, old technology, somewhere in between, it's about telling a great story.
Sure.
So that's
using the technology to add to that.
Yes. Yeah. It's ultimately that's what we want to do. So I've always wanted to have model trains at Christmas Railway, and model trains are more difficult than they might appear because the trains themselves, the track gets dust on them and they don't want to go and whatever. And
they're very persnickety when it comes to the conditions.
Can be. Yeah. And so I guess it was last Christmas. It was last Christmas. We said, hey, let's try Lego trains this year because why not?
Yeah.
Let's see if Lego trains do better. And we built the Lego display. We called it Bricktown. Bank of the Southwest sponsored it, and it was awesome. Everybody loved it. We I can't remember how many Legos were in that original display, but it was about 4 foot by about 20 feet.
Okay.
So it was a pretty big display that we had out there at Christmas Railway. And then we have all these Legos and we're like, well, what are we going to do with them? And then, of course, the obvious answer is let's add more Legos to them.
Right. Let's get more.
So
just basically created a Lego universe.
Yeah. We said, hey, you know what? This is a lot of fun. People really enjoyed it. And we then proceeded to work out with right there next to us at Spaceport Roswell. There's an old gas station that Maddox Hobbs had remodeled and used. He used occasionally for events there at the High Q, but not a lot. And so I said, hey, let me use that space and put this up. So we ended up building. It's Bricktown. We call it Bricktown Alien Attack because you want to have that alien.
Well, it is Roswell, New Mexico,
Roswell,
and
so
people aren't coming here for Christmas stuff in July.
No, they aren't. And so Bricktown Alien Attack, and it is we have 5 displays there that make up the exhibit.
Okay.
And it's 250,000 Legos.
Woof.
There's probably about 15,000 little lights that light it all up. And there's some interactivity to it. So it's quite a little impressive
so who's
setup.
Is it you creating these different scenes, or is it a team of people?
It's a team.
Like whose vision is it that when you because obviously you just can't have a pile of Legos and say,
well, that's what we did. No.
There's got to be some planning, and all right, we're going to make this a crash scene or whatever.
Sure.
And then you're like, all right, well, I'm going to need and I know Legos are a little bit more advanced than when I was a kid. There's more than just the 3-1, the 2-1, the 1-1. There's a lot more specific shapes and things
Oh,
now.
there's
So
hundreds of thousands of parts.
Who's that creative person that puts
Well,
all the things together and designs?
It's a team effort. You know, we kind of picked what we wanted to do. Of course, the main display is Bricktown Alien Attack, and
Gotcha.
so Bricktown is a city that we built. And I guess kind of for starters, you start with some of the more, let's call them the stock Lego models, right?
Gotcha.
Like, so Lego has several. They've got lots of different lines of Legos. You know, and they definitely have a city series. You know, if you're into Legos, they call them modular buildings.
Okay.
And so we bought every single modular building that we could find.
Gotcha.
But then if you go, there's probably thousands and thousands of different people who design. They fancy themselves Lego designers, and so they design different plans that are available online.
Okay.
And then there are marketplaces online where you can, here's the plans. Just like building a house, you buy all the materials you need.
Sure.
You can go and buy all the Legos you need to build a particular design.
Gotcha.
You know, the biggest building we have is 5 feet tall.
Wow.
You know, and
It's taller than some people, by the way.
Yeah,
around here.
it is. And it's made up of about 16,000 Legos.
Ooh.
Just that one building alone. So there's that. You know, of course, then we had all the trains, stuff like that. Also, too, we go back because Legos are collectibles. And I tell you what, I didn't know this, but if you're trying to diversify your portfolio, yeah, there's a lot of people who invest in Legos, and it kind of seems a little weird. But then you think about, it's not any worse than investing in Bitcoin, right?
And if you
It's
think
just
about
nothing, which is just numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
At least at the end of the day, if the value goes down, well, you at least get some Legos to play with.
Well, if someone's willing to buy something that you have, then it's got value to it, you know, and that's at the end of the day, that's how it works. But I mean, even in the world of Lego, I mean, I know there's a show on Fox during the summers.
Oh yeah,
that it's literally Lego building competitions, and it's not like children. These are adults that have been doing this for a long time. They're better parts of their lives and doing. Basically, these are folks that enjoyed Lego so much as a kid that they've taken it to the 12th level here, and now we're experiencing that where we're getting to do these things and have these things on TV, but just be able to create museums and places to go, meccas to go for people to come and see these creations. It's almost turning into its own art medium in and of itself. Absolutely. Is Lego, you know?
Absolutely, and certainly there's a lot of creativity and fun involved, and it's in our sort of politicized world, it's kind of a nice thing to be able to share with people.
Absolutely,
people to be creative and get together. So we've got the Bricktown, which is huge. Now part of this, of course, is that the aliens are attacking it. So
you got to create some.
So we've got. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 8 flying saucers and probably about, I don't know, 50 or so little aliens that are like attacking the city. It's kind of has the Mars Attacks type feel to it.
Is it the Mars Attack aliens? Did Lego come up with those?
Lego had an Alien series back, I think it was 2010.
Okay.
It was called Alien Attack. And so, you can, if you're willing to spend enough money, you can go online and find people who are selling their old sets. And so that's what we did is we
just
went,
pick them up that way.
We just went because there's no other way to get them.
Yeah.
People come in and they ask, can we buy one of these Alien sets? And I'm like, you can, if you can find one, go for it.
we had a heck of a time trying to get a hold of this one.
So yeah.
Does it get into a world where you have to customize parts and things? Does it ever get to there? Or is there pretty much apart from everything you know?
There are so many parts. I think the only thing that, as far as like people like 3D printing parts, is what you're talking about.
Yeah, like if you have to, I have a vision, but there's not really a kit for it yet.
Probably, I think the most 3D stuff that I've seen in the Lego world is done in the train world.
Okay.
It's done with like if there's not a shape of a train track that you want, because Lego's a fairly limited amount of train pieces. But other than that, no. There are so many. You'd be surprised.
You just don't need to.
Yeah, there are. Just
Are they getting into motion and stuff with Legos too, or is it still?
So Lego has for probably a couple of decades now. They've got a line called Technic.
Okay. Yes, I've heard of that.
Yes, and
it's,
so
it's like for the older kids.
They do have motors, and you can build robots. And the trains use Technic engines to move them.
I didn't know if there was some movement to some of this Lego stuff in there.
So we've done a little bit with that. Of course, we have 1,000 ideas we want to keep adding to it.
Sure.
So I need more people to come buy tickets so I can spend more money and.
Well, I would imagine
feed my habit.
You have the same problem that our model train guys have out at at the fairgrounds, and it's like, all right, do I have enough room, and where do I want? Because they're never done in there. It looks amazing in there, but they're never ever finished. They're always adding, changing, and Bricktown's probably exactly the same. Where after a while, after this thing's been here a while, you're like, you know what? I'm tired of looking at this. We're gonna redo it this way, and or create maybe different themes. They're like, hey, we're gonna go with
yeah. So we do have. So we've got the city. We've got here's a huge pirate display. There is Apollo 11.
Oh, nice.
Where you've got the moon
very
surface.
Apropos right now with Artemis and everything else going on. Yeah.
Apollo 11. That's probably my favorite model. Where we have the Apollo rocket, which is a stock model. The rocket itself is a stock model. It's actually the tallest model Lego makes.
Nice. But it's basically a Saturn V rocket.
Saturn V rocket.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy who designed the LUT, the tower.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
And so
the actual launch pad.
It's kind of funny. So I went on Etsy and bought from him. I can't remember. It was probably like $100. I bought the plans to do that, and then it was like I want to say it was 10,000 pieces. And it was brutal to build that thing. It was super complex, but it's super detailed too. It's all the little pipes running down, and then you look at a picture of it like, wow, this looks.
So
like
was this like family night? Were you and the family were just, all right, we're going to work on a building tonight, and we kind of, or was it more bigger than that?
Like family week,
family week,
month,
okay,
family year. No,
I didn't know if you had like was it like, hey, the kids, bring your friends over, let's play Lego. I mean, like it was an all hands on deck kind of thing. Or?
So the thing about when certainly my kids have helped a lot. They really enjoy building Lego, especially the sets.
Yeah.
The custom stuff is a little less, but but the thing about it is at some point, I tell my kids, it's like, you can't play with these. These aren't toys, but they kind of are toys.
They kind of are. Yeah. It's like,
but these are, but
they're in the toy section at the store, Dad.
Yeah. That's where you got them from. So, but no, this is for Bricktown display. So.
Right. These are serious toys, kids.
But and my kids have been great. Maverick and Lewis and Penelope. They each have the boys have a Lego set, and the girl and Penelope has her Lego collection. And so sometimes I would need a piece, and I'd be like, "Let me go into your room. I'm gonna get a piece, and you can come to the office, and I'll give you 2 pieces."
All right, you do a little bartering.
A little bartering with them. Yeah,
I'm surprised it didn't work out like getting out of chores and things like that. It's like 2 pieces.
Yeah, no,
that'll cost you not vacuuming or not whatever.
No.
Yeah. They'll get that entrepreneurial thing and give them a couple years.
They'll get that.
Your training's going to get more expensive.
I hope they're not listening right now. You just got me into big trouble.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but their training will get more expensive just over time. But I'm also guessing too that you're probably instilling the bug. So when Grandpappy Roebuck is sitting here on the porch,
sure,
his kids and grandkids will be also into Legos and things. That might, that'd be pretty cool when, your kids bring their kids over and everyone's playing Lego, and your kids are probably taking whatever passion you've got to that level.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. And then you're going to be telling them, man, if I had those parts back in 2022, I'd been so easy to build the Bricktown. That's kind of coul though. I like that.
Yeah, so, but also to Matt Bromley, he's a local Lego artist who's done a lot of work with us. All my staff, have built things.
They all get
a lot of. It takes basically, if you think about it, it takes roughly, for an experienced builder using plans, not designing them themselves. It takes them. It takes about 250 pieces an hour.
Okay.
So then start. I'm not going to do math for you because that's always a bad idea. But
that's the reason I'm in radio.
You take 250,000 Legos, and it's a lot of hours.
That is a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours into that thing. But so I don't even want to think about it really.
But I imagine, but it can be fun at the same time.
Oh, it is.
That's the thing. It's
making movies is fun. Doing Christmas Railway, everything we do is fun. So that's nothing new for us.
Sure, but yeah, you're right. You just think it's. Well, and this is where the creative side thing is, because if you're not creative, you see basically a pile of 100,000 Lego bricks. Some people are going to be like, what a mess to clean up. Others are like, dude, I can. And that's the difference for creative types.
We keep them organized.
But I mean, if you just walked in a random pile of Legos
and there was 100,000, I'd turn around and walk out if they weren't organized.
The creative type's like, dude, let's see what we can make with this, and start where the non-creative type's like, all right, I'm calling a guy to clean that.
Sure.
And that's where it's so amazing is because you get to take that vision.
The thing about Legos is that because it scratches both kinds of creativity. If you're an engineer and you're not necessarily a free thinker kind of thing.
Yeah, you don't care what color the bricks are. You're looking about structure.
You're looking at structure, or you're following the plans. You're following the instructions, and so it can be very fast. It can really scratch that part of your brain itch.
Sure.
Or if you just want to grab a random pile of Legos and just start.
Sure.
Doing.
So
something.
if you're very structured and meticulous,
yes,
it scratches that itch.
I think that's the core. That's part of the core popularity of Legos.
Yeah. And
it also is the other thing too. It's that kind of thing where you get instant results, right? You start seeing it come together, and I really on some of these they have a some of these sets are pretty expensive. We've got a couple of roller coasters. We put a roller coaster together, and part of it is it's like seeing how do they come up with it. And this is like a roller coaster that the cart actually
it's moving. Yeah, the kinetic stuff's in
it's got kinetic stuff, and so it's like wow, it's pretty amazing. So. Yeah, you get the engineering. I think part of it's fun as well for some people, but some people just like the art and the creativity part of it.
It's kind of like that the board game Mousetrap. I loved building that thing and seeing if I could get it all the way to the end and everything else. And every once in a while, the old man would miss the bathtub or something like that. But when he nailed it, it was like, you're
dating yourself
a little bit.
Your audience probably knows about Mousetrap.
Yeah,
that was a great game.
It was. I'm surprised it's still not available in stores. Maybe like Clue and all those.
It'll come back.
Yeah, maybe too many people lose all the parts. That's the problem. Is too many parts. But so give hours of operation and all the. But if people want to come by and start seeing Bricktown here,
Bricktown. It's in the corner of Second and Virginia.
Yeah, right downtown here.
It is open through Memorial Day. Then it's going to be closed for a week and a half.
Labor Day, you mean?
I'm sorry. Thank you. Labor Day. Yes. Yeah. Here coming up. So we'll have our last summer hurrah. It's got to be closed. we got to tear it down and put it back up again because there's an event that was scheduled in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
How much of it can you just move?
We're gonna find out. As much as possible. I mean, the models themselves, of course, move relatively.
Sure.
I would say relatively easily. So it's all the landscaping, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that you don't think about too is that building a Lego model is one thing, and I know a lot of your audience has because a lot of people do.
Sure.
Then all of a sudden, how do you bring all these different Lego models together to tell a story? I think that's the part where we really have fun and we enjoy. Our creative part is that how do we use these things to tell a story and narrative that people are excited about? The other thing people do too is that we have a scavenger hunt, and it's like find the coffee cup.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like 50 things on it, and it's amazing. People they want to check everything off that list.
Well, and to me that scratches another fun itch. It's kind of like for folks that don't know, like when you go to Disney World and you go down the Main Street Park. If for folks. Go online before you ever go there and look at all the hidden gems, little hidden Easter eggs and things.
Sure,
there are so many of those. And this sounds like it's got that same vibe to it, where you're like, go down to the alien text down by that building and look for the thing in the window or whatever it is. To me, that's another itch that gets scratched because I love that's half the fun when I go to Main Street.
So much detail, detail,
Yeah.
And it's amazing. A lot of magic making, whether it's film or attractions or model building, it's detail. And we love, as humans, we love detail. We love those layers and layers. And
well, that's what sells us in the story. You know what I mean? Our imaginations buy the story better when it's got detail to it and gives it that three-dimensional look and feel to it.
Yeah, so it's open daily. I think the hours right now are probably 9 to 6.
Okay, through Labor Day weekend.
Through Labor Day weekend. And then the hours are probably, then they'll be closed for a couple weeks, and then we'll be back open again.
Good deal.
But come this week. I mean, last hurrah for summer. Come check it out.
Yeah.
So it's about depending on how much you like detail. So there's the big display, the Bricktown Alien Attack. There is the Pirates. There is the Apollo display. There is what I call world buildings, which is just a collection of models.
Gotcha.
Of like the Coliseum and
iconic
Yeah, Big
structures,
Ben,
Taj Mahal, things like that.
Taj Mahal.
Yeah, okay.
Is one of them. We have the Titanic.
Oh,
which is
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's 9,000 pieces. I put that one together. And then my team put the lights on it, but it's pretty fun.
Nice.
It doesn't sink. So everybody asks me, "Does your Titanic sink?" No, it doesn't sink. It just sits there and looks pretty.
He hasn't tested the seaworthiness of it, to be honest.
No, yeah.
You know what that makes me kind of want to give? Remember G.I. Joe?
Oh, yeah.
The aircraft carrier.
Oh.
You know how coveted that toy was as a kid?
Yeah.
And we all had like one friend that maybe kind of had it, the rich friend that had it. But to me, like they should recreate that in Lego.
Lego.
The G.I. Joe.
I'm sure it's been done.
Aircraft carrier.
I'm sure it's been done, yeah. Yeah, and then we have a train display.
Nice.
We have probably about 12 different Lego trains.
Nice.
On display. So it's good. We have some interactive elements right now where you push buttons and it plays sounds and music and the aliens talk and stuff like that. So it's fun like that.
Kids at heart are going to love this.
Oh
thing.
yeah, absolutely.
And just if you're looking just to have a little
fun.
Fun.
Yeah, like I said, if you're going to do it fast, that's about 30 minutes. I'd say the average group takes about 45 minutes to an hour.
Good deal.
Some people, if you're really into Legos, you'll probably spend more longer than that.
Sure.
So, and of course, we have a gift shop where you can buy buy Legos on the way out too.
Well, you got to get your first starter kit to get bit. If you bring say that child in for the first time, and now they're old enough to and responsible enough to have Legos. I know that those are part chewing issues there when they're that age, but once they are make their first.
Legos are good for you.
Yeah,
part of this balanced breakfast.
Absolutely. Well, to be honest, I think it lets you figure out more about your kid. Like, all right, is your kid trying to follow the instructions to a T? Is your kid just building whatever comes to their creative mind, whatever it is? But you kind of, I think it's almost like let's see what your child's into, and that might give you a little bit of insight there. Just see how. Don't give them any instructions. Just say, here you go, play with it, and see what they do with it.
Yeah. So lots of fun. Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. Of course, another thing we got to gear up here in the Christmas time here, the Roswell Christmas Railway. Of course, some big changes, I guess you could say, to this year as far as put it this way: don't go to the zoo.
Yeah, don't go to the zoo. I mean, please go to the zoo.
Go to the zoo, but if you're going there for Christmas Railway,
we won't be there.
You're going to be like, man, it's kind of sparse this year.
So this is going to be our 7th year doing Christmas Railway.
Yeah.
Man, what an honor it's been to be a part of so many traditions. About a year ago, we started looking for what I call a permanent home for Christmas.
You kind of outgrew the zoo.
We have, there's a couple. The first, I want to say this: the zoo is awesome.
Yeah.
We love the zoo. The zoo staff has been fantastic over the 6 years we've been there. They've been over backwards to help us make that happen.
Yeah.
And we certainly couldn't have gotten it started without all the work that they put into.
They made it successful for you guys.
Absolutely. They were critical partners. But about maybe a year and a half ago, there are a couple issues at the zoo that are outside the control of the zoo staff. One is parking.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever been on a busy night, and most of our nights are busy.
And they got a pretty decent-sized lot there, but the Christmas Railway puts it to the test.
We do put it to the test. And so as we've grown, people want to stay longer. And so that means the parking lot stays fuller, and we don't turn over the parking spots.
These are all good problems to have,
Yeah, good problems, absolutely. So parking has been an issue out there. The other thing, too, that I think, that's one thing I think people will so I guess maybe to say, we're moving to the fairgrounds.
Yes, where they have plenty of space for parking and things out there. Yeah,
that's kind of where we landed, and because again, that's all the other thing too is that we had to set it up and tear it down, and because there's no storage on site, we had to move most everything off site.
So you can keep some of this stuff on site. There now. Okay.
So we've worked out a deal with the fair board to take care of storage on site and stuff like that, which helps us make the event better. So we got better parking. Obviously, from a logistical standpoint, that's better. The other thing too was that coldness. A little bit of cold is fun. A lot of cold is no fun for Christmas Railway. And
so you got a lot more indoor facilities available.
Yeah, so we'll probably be about half and half. Obviously, people like being outside at Christmas time.
Sure,
it's part of
the spirit.
But we definitely have a lot more indoor space.
When you had enough spirit of coldness, you want to get in and warm up, and now they got places to do that.
Probably about half of the stuff will be inside. A lot of the kid areas especially will be inside, so kids can play longer, and and we're really excited about to be able to provide that, because that was one of the big issues we had. Or if it happens to be, we obviously December, it doesn't rain a lot, or it doesn't, but there are occasionally some windstorms in December.
It does happen.
And so it provides a place for, people buy tickets in advance. They don't know what the weather's going to be like. And so, we want to be able to still provide a good experience. So
equally have a good time regardless if it's blizzard or not.
Yeah. And that's a great thing to have that indoor space for that.
Plus, I imagine it gives you guys an opportunity to maybe implement some things that probably just didn't work out at the zoo.
Absolutely.
That you're saying, now that we're here, we can implement these things that we wanted to try a couple years ago, but we couldn't. So it probably gives you a little bit more free play on what.
There's more space there, certainly. Yeah. And if you think about the the zoo, John Wright's out there. He's been there for about a year now. The zoo director, he's great. It's fantastic. He's got a vision for that zoo, and they're going to eventually start squeezing the space that we were using out there.
Gotcha.
And which I'm excited about. As someone who's in the tourist industry, we need as many things.
Sure.
People
well, there's a master plan out at that zoo, and at this point, you guys are getting in the way of their master plan, and you guys were just outgrowing that facility at the end of the day. So it's still a beautiful relationship.
Yeah,
it's a great
absolutely.
thing. It's
we want
just
people to go to the zoo.
They kind of outgrew each other at that point.
And so at the fairgrounds, they have the zoo's open year round now, which is great. The fairgrounds, they have the fair during the year, and they have stuff going on there all year round. Not necessarily as big as the zoo,
right?
As big as the fair, excuse me, but they also have a lot of space out there, and that gives us the ability to do some things that are permanent. That's not going to get into their way to their day-to-day operations. So we're excited about that.
I think the only thing that kind of I would miss is the little pond out there. If you could somehow bring the zoo pond,
we could
move it to the fairground.
We'll make a better one, but no. The thing that you will miss this year is that, of course, there's no train.
It's true.
There's no train, and this year we're going to be doing some version of hay rides.
Okay.
But we are working with the zoo.
Is the miniature train folks going to be hanging around during the Christmas rail? Because they're right there in the facility. I feel like that's a good little partnership.
Yeah,
there.
we might bring in a trackless train.
Okay.
Especially for the littles.
Okay. Yeah, the model, that's one of my favorite things at the fair each year. Go check it out at this year's fair, but that's kind of their home base is right there at the fairground.
Yep, right in the education building. Yeah. So we'll do that for this year to have that fun ride experience. Cool. We'll have that out there. But the reality is most people come to and then we are working with the fair board to at some time in the next hopefully year, probably two, to put in a permanent train.
Cool.
So we will get back.
So the train will be coming.
We're not changing the name. We're not changing the name from Roswell Christmas Railway. So train is coming. But
good deal.
But the reality is when people come to the Christmas Railway, they spend, the average group spends about an hour and a half to 2 hours there.
Okay.
That's only 15 minutes of that's on the train. So,
yeah, the train's usually your vessel to get in and out of the railway for most people, and that's the only time you ride it. The rest of the time you're down in the village or doing your thing.
One thing that we're working on, and none, obviously none of the stuff is official yet because it's not, but we have the option to use live animals.
Okay.
We didn't have that option at the zoo because to protect the curated group there, you can't just bring in the other animals.
Yeah, you just can't show up with a dog or something or a llama.
Yeah. So we're looking at possibly living nativity.
Okay.
We're looking at reindeer. We're looking at all kinds of fun stuff. So again, some of these things might not happen this year, but that is something
that's the vision down the road.
It opens up for that, which is great.
And I imagine too, with the train part, if that's going to be a permanent structure, that'll be very useful for the fair as much as it would be for the railway.
And that
at Christmas time.
Without getting into a lot of details, we're talking about doing some things, year round with the fairgrounds. So that's
more year-round partnership.
Yeah, that's the longer vision. If you look at the fair. The fair has a mission of promoting agriculture, and promoting our Western heritage. That's kind of their mission in a nutshell. But what their economic engine, what drives them, is they're a platform for events. The fair is one big event,
absolutely.
But then they have different events throughout the year, and what we do is we create events and attractions.
Yeah,
and so it is a really good partnership, and we are excited. We need to get land the Christmas Railway there this year, but there are definitely.
So I'm guessing
people are already buzzing about different ideas. So
I imagine, you're probably going to have projects down the road directly with the fair, where you're maybe some of your Bricktown or things like this might show up at the actual fair.
Absolutely.
As a display as part of the fair each year. Maybe be an attraction to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair or whatever fair that's happened to be happening at the time.
Yeah. So we're really hoping for a good partnership. You got great leadership out at the fair. It's a good group of people there on the board. And they all want to make Roswell better, and we want to make Roswell better. And so, we are excited to hopefully, obviously Christmas Railway is a big thing that we do for families in Roswell. And we are excited to work with them to hopefully in the future, if we can get Christmas Railway there and get that working well, then have the opportunity to do more family attractions and events to really, serve the community and also serve tourists too.
Absolutely. But when you start reserving your spots for this year's Roswell Christmas Railway here in a couple months,
don't drive to the zoo.
Don't go to the zoo. Understand it's going to be out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, which for many that's going to now there's a lot more parking out there. I mean, it accommodates the fair everywhere. There's every year they literally have hundreds of cars that are parked out there at a given time. So thousands.
Yeah.
So no problem accommodating all
the
that
fair,
stuff.
and I'm kind of grabbing numbers that I'm not sure, but a busy fair night is probably 5,000 plus.
Ooh,
that's a busy fair night.
Yeah.
When we have over 1,000 at Christmas Railway, parking's a disaster.
Right. Now it'll barely make a dent. Yeah, that's great.
Now I have plenty of capacity there, so that's great. So we're excited about it. We're thrilled with the fair. I cannot. We're a for-profit business, and I think it works for the Christmas Railway to keep it going. But certainly, I cannot mention the Christmas Railway without I did the math, or I didn't do the math. I counted them, a couple days ago.
Do math.
I don't do math. Stay away from that. And we've had 50 sponsors over the 6 years. And most of those are multi-year sponsors.
Sure.
And just the support from the community has been tremendous.
Yeah. Well, it's a great product, and people believe in it, and they want that. And it's something that I think, like you said way back years ago when you envisioned this, it's something that this community needs. We needed our own Christmas tradition, our own place where we can call Roswell, and you created that. I remember you
and a small army of
but it was your vision, and all these people. I don't know how you got them on board, but got them on board to see your vision.
Sure.
And
I have a nice wife. She made cookies.
Yeah, she's really good at cookies. But but that's what I think I love about it is it's really just a concept you guys came with, and now here we are. It is now what you envisioned it to be, a kind of staple for Christmas time.
It's tradition for so many
in
people.
Roswell.
And
tradition.
What an honor to be part of all those family traditions, the holidays. At Christmas time, we really take it seriously. We take our fun very seriously. But so we're excited for this year. We've been working on it for at least a month already, and.
So that being said, it's never too early if you're a business or organization want to get in on
we'll be talking
this year's
to you.
Christmas Railway.
We'll be talking to you.
I know it's end of August here, but it's not too early to start talking about that.
Yeah, we will, and we have a group of really supportive sponsors.
Good.
So we're excited about that. Yeah, so Christmas Railway this year, it's going to be great at the fairgrounds. Other new stuff coming up. We're trying to do at the Christmas this year. We're going to be doing an immersion room.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with that. But maybe the most famous one that's kind of been in the news a little bit is there's the Van Gogh one.
Yes, the one in Albuquerque. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
We're probably not as large as theirs, but something along those lines. So we're working on doing that to do storytelling.
It takes a while to get Van Gogh money at this point.
Yeah. And I mentioned we're trying to bring in some live animals, and so that'll be exciting. Ooh. So a lot of fun opportunities. Working with some more some of our downtown merchants to now that we have, that's the other thing too, now that we have indoor space, we can secure merchandise, probably have some more shopping than we normally do. So it's going to be great.
Well, and your business is a business that enhances the businesses around your business. People come to see Bricktown.
That's amazing logic.
But people are coming, you're the destination. And then while they're there, they're like, oh, let's go get something to eat right on the corner here. Let's go shop in that store right up the street here.
We survey our customers every year. And for the past 4 years we've been doing it, and we're really proud. I'm proud of my team. Of course, we do this with families. About 30% of our audience is from out of county, and maybe 10% from out of state.
Helps that lodger's tax money.
It does,
and things.
And the direct economic impact over the 4 years we've been measuring has been $1.3 million of money spent in Roswell from out-of-towners during the Christmas Railway.
Nice.
People come in. We ask them, do you spend money on gas? Do you spend money on a hotel? They ask them,
Yeah.
And so,
well, this is probably your
bringing
advantage
revenue,
of serving on city council. Now you kind of know where to look for those tracks, and you kind of, you know what I mean? You can actually use that information to not only enhance your business, but enhance the businesses around you. And it's amazing thing.
Well, it's important. We have to work together. You know, we have to work as a community, work together.
This is how it's supposed to be.
In our downtown community, the merchants, we have got some really great merchants. Some if you haven't been downtown in a while, some new places opened up.
Absolutely.
On the north end.
Yeah.
Right on 5th Street. There in the corner, there's a new furniture store there.
Yeah.
And a paint shop, a craft paint shop. Very cool. You guys check them out if you haven't been downtown in a while. But the downtown community, especially, the merchants down there really working together. And there's some people putting some really. It's fun because you get to see you talk about the different people coming together, and there's people who are putting their heart and soul into these businesses.
Sure.
And they're really coming.
Their passions.
They come in with some really creative things. And so hopefully we continue to trend that direction. As the Christmas Railway, we certainly want to be supporting that.
Absolutely. And obviously, we'll as we get close to the event, we'll talk more and more about it here.
Sure.
But in the meantime, you got through the Labor Day weekend to check out Bricktown here, and then it's going to close up for a little bit.
It'll bump back.
But if you want to see it right now, you got through the weekend to get that done.
Go check it out. Yeah, go check it out this weekend.
Hey, come and let your inner kid
absolutely
flag fly and have some fun there.
Absolutely.
And then of course, as we get closer to Roswell Christmas Railway, we'll start getting the pertinent details and dates. But it'll be out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. It's new home beginning here in 2022.
Absolutely.
So.
Yep.
Deal. Well, thank you, sir.
All right. We didn't even talk about politics.
Yeah.
How great was that?
Well, I'm very much happy about that. I rather talk about fun things. So.
Absolutely.
But thank you, Jake.
Hey, good to be here, man.
We'll see you next time,
All
okay?
Right. Take care.
All right, it is 8:55. Let's pause for some local news, quick commercial break, and then, just in time for more news. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The New Mexico Grown Coalition, a network of public institutions, nonprofit and community-based organizations, and people working together to strengthen community food systems, are announcing the winners of this year's Golden Chili Awards. The coalition next month will honor 28 winners to include 11 preschools, 12 school districts, 5 senior centers, and New Mexico farmers around the state during a virtual awards ceremony on September 14th. An Artesia teenager killed last week when the vehicle he was a passenger in collided with a semi-truck. New Mexico State Police responded to the two-vehicle crash on US 285 near West Atoka Road, just south of Artesia. The initial investigation indicated one vehicle was traveling south. For reasons still under investigation, the 19-year-old driver attempted to turn onto West Atoka Road, but turned directly in front of a 2015 Peterbilt semi-truck that was headed north on 285. The semi-truck struck the passenger side of the Dodge. A 15-year-old passenger in the vehicle was killed. No names are released. You're up to date from the Pecos Valley Newsroom. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. All that moist air coming in as part of the monsoon will be shifting into our area today, so we've got a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could have heavy rainfall today, our afternoon high in the mid-80s. Lingering showers overnight and down to 65, and then a little bit more sunshine on Wednesday, but still some afternoon showers and thunderstorms and our high in the low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Walmart filed a motion on Monday to dismiss a Federal Trade Commission lawsuit that accuses the nation's largest retailer of allowing its money transfer services to be used by scam artists. The FTC alleges in its lawsuit that for years, Walmart failed to properly secure the money transfer services offered at its stores, stealing hundreds of millions of dollars from customers. The agency said Walmart didn't properly train its employees, failed to alert customers, and used procedures that allowed fraudsters to cash out at its stores. The National Labor Relations Board has reversed a Trump-era decision by finding that Tesla can't stop factory employees. It ordered Tesla to stop enforcing an overly broad uniform policy that effectively stops production workers at Tesla's Fremont, California factory from wearing black shirts with the United Auto Workers union logos. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For a free estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Richland Motors invites you and your family to the Richland Motors Barbecue Cook-Off and presentation of the American Patriot Award, honoring first responders on Saturday, September 10th at Richland Motors on West 2nd in Roswell. This cook-off is open to all skill levels and all mediums: wood, charcoal, pellets, wood chips, and electric. Prizes will be awarded for the best in brisket and best in ribs. Sign up now at rlchevrolet.com. Click the About Us tab and enter. Richland Motors Barbecue Cook-Off and presentation of the American Patriot Award, Saturday, September 10th at Richland Motors on West 2nd in Roswell.
Talk Radio has landed on the all-new 106.5.
His commitment to law enforcement in his Safer America plan.
And the simple, basic notion that when it comes to public safety in this nation, the answer isn't to defund the police, it's to fund the police.
He's also expected to tout recently approved gun legislation and repeat his call for a ban on semi-automatic weapons.
That's White House correspondent Greg Clugston. Jackson, Mississippi's water treatment system is on the ropes. It was knocked out by devastating floods that severely impacted the city's drinking water supply. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves urging people not to drink the water. Emergency supplies are starting to be delivered as emergency repairs get underway to the Jackson water treatment plant. The Ukrainian military has gone on the offensive across southern Ukraine with a surge of fighting across the south and fresh attacks on Russian positions.
In an intelligence note, the British Defence Ministry said although it was not yet possible to confirm the extent of Ukrainian advances, its army had increased artillery fire in frontline sectors across southern Ukraine. It added that Ukrainian troops were using long-range precision strikes to disrupt Russian resupply lines.
The BBC's Sasha Schlichter reporting. The latest Case-Shiller 20-city home price index just out. U.S. home prices rose 18.6% in June of this year compared with the same month 1 year ago. On Wall Street, stocks tumbling once again. They're deep in the red. The Dow is down 378 points for a loss of more than 1%. The Nasdaq is off 205 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon two factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
International aid has started arriving in flood-ravaged Pakistan. A third of the country's underwater. Bridges and roads have been washed away. Millions of homes damaged or destroyed. The BBC's Pumza Falani is in Sindh province.
The parents here have told us that their children sometimes go for a day without eating or 2 days even, and they've got nothing to offer them, not even water in some instances. So that is the sense of devastation that people are seeing, that they don't know if help is coming at all, and if it is, they don't know how long it will take for it to eventually trickle down to people in these sorts of conditions.
The head of the European Union's executive branch and the German Chancellor pledging a reform of Europe's electricity market to help bring down power prices that have been pushed higher by skyrocketing gas prices. The European Commission president says soaring electric prices now exposing the limitations of our current electricity market design. News and analysis, townhall.com. Millions who rely on the government for food experience some technical difficulties.
Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program users, also known as SNAP and previously known as food stamps, were not able to purchase groceries Sunday in some states. Website outage tracker Down Detector reported over 5,000 outages around 3 Sunday afternoon. The outage was blamed on a third-party processor outage. The social media users were quick to comment, some saying the phase-out of cash and a move to digital money would result in the same predicament. Only then, they said it would be the government shutting off Americans' bank accounts on purpose. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Following three straight monthly declines, consumer confidence measured by the Conference Board has rebounded this month. The board's Consumer Confidence Index rising to 103.2 from 95.3 in July. Townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Javelin, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday. Overcast, rainy. I think it's actually raining at this moment.
Yeah, it's. I can hear
sprinkling
droplets dropping down.
Yes. What's never mind. I was going to do raindrops falling on my head.
But that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me.
Drops of Jupiter out there.
Just all over the place. I'm actually pretty happy because for the first time in like a decade.
First time, long time.
I have reintroduced a product into my life that I forgot worked very well for me.
Really? Okay.
Uh-huh.
What is said product?
Mousse.
Ah.
Yeah. Because I've been dealing with. I have been wearing my hat constantly for the last month because I don't have an air conditioner. I have my window open constantly, which means the air is blowing in at 1,000 miles an hour. I'm pretty sure everybody in my family has an ear infection now.
Yeah.
But I've also been dealing with, and this I came across the term recently, and I feel like this applies to me perfectly. Fricassee hair.
Ah.
Fricasseed hair, which is the best way I can think to describe it is Christopher Lloyd.
Okay.
Like that kind of crazy hair that you can't do anything.
I kind of have that.
It's been driving me crazy. Like I brush it and then a slight 5 mile an hour breeze would come along and it would just half my head would be over here. So it's been really annoying. So yeah, I got Ted Koppel hair right now, but at least it's in place.
Nice.
Yes.
Like it.
Yep.
Mousse.
Or
they got like those gels now and stuff that's like mousse.
I destroyed my scalp, I'm pretty sure, over the course of my young adult/adult life by using a product known only as hair glue.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Maybe.
Do you remember my hair glue phase? And you could just basically throw a ball off my head and it would just bounce off and have no effect.
Get you some Dapper Dan.
Yeah, just a little dabble, do you?
I have like a pomade that I don't use all the time.
The
but every once in a
problem
while.
I was constantly running into was I was getting the stuff I would use to hold it in place would look sticky.
Right.
Or I just didn't want that. I wanted it to look like hair.
You didn't want to look shellacked
like a
down.
hair helmet or whatever.
Shiny, shellacked.
So I needed something that was kind of a balance of two. And my friend was like, "Why don't you just get some mousse?" I'm like, I haven't thought about mousse since like the Obama administration.
There you go.
So yeah.
So mousse it up. It's delicious on
Jello
Jello too,
creamy and smooth.
Jello or pudding.
That stuff is deceptively delicious looking.
It looks like it should be on a dessert.
It really does. It froths up quite nice.
Does not taste that way. It's just a tip. Pro tip. Just don't lick it. No matter what you want to. No matter it smells good, you don't lick it.
Just remember, no lick it or ticket.
That's right. Oh man, yeah. See, I now that I have less hair, I just happy if I can comb it.
Sure.
And then and I still use like old school hairspray, just not like, aerosol Aquanet, just a little pump.
Like I'm not trying to support a beach umbrella or anything. My daughter, her hair is so thick. She got her or my sister's hair, not even so much her mom's hair, but my sister's hair. It's like ridiculously thick.
Yeah, so's my wife's.
Or you could like make rope out of it.
Yeah, my wife is like, she has to do this whole like she gets mad at me because I'll get out of the shower, run the towel through, and my hair's dry.
Right.
I have none. And she's got to do like this whole routine with the hair dryer and the whole thing.
There's a joke on Scrubs where it's like she puts a towel, she throws her a towel, and it cuts away, and you see it, and she's wearing the turban, and she just goes, "I love how every woman just knows how to do that."
Yeah, I can't.
They all do. They just know how to do the tray. I never was able to.
Yeah,
I never saw the need really though.
Well, same here. Even in my days of hair, I didn't have that kind of hair.
In this day and age, I'm afraid of any friction on my head is just going to brush away a section of hair.
Yeah. See, your problems you discuss, I had in my high school.
Really?
And that's because the look was feathered, so you couldn't really go moosed up, because you wanted to look like it was more wavy. And so hairspray was the thing to keep it wavy looking without it looking shellacked, So back in the days, it was the Aquanet with the aerosol bomb that you put on your head.
I actually saw that in a kid's show the other day. It was like a real heartfelt moment, and they do a slow pan away. And he goes, "Your grandma was right. Not about the perm, but what she was saying."
Yeah. And but then mine was that I parted to the side as I do today.
Right.
And but it was flowed out, and it kind of swooped out in the back.
Now that was an odd time for hair. It was a glorious time for hair because hair was celebrated.
Yeah.
I went through such a weird era for hair.
Yeah.
Where the standard, the go-to look was the butt cut.
Oh yeah.
The McDonald's.
It was very popular.
Split down the center.
I had it for
Jonathan Taylor
my
Thomas.
junior year in high school. My junior year in high school, I parted in the middle to hopefully make women like me.
Yeah.
It did not work.
No, it didn't ever do. I wanted it so bad. My hair wasn't heavy enough to pull off the look where you'd have to do the thing where you brush it out of your hair. It was never, because my hair grows this way, not this way.
Yeah.
It's my problem. So I would always have to cut it before I get full-blown pompadour puff.
Gotcha. See, but you could have pulled off some other looks of the
I probably
80s
could have.
that others could not pull off.
Had I had my Today confidence then, I'd probably be invested in Bitcoin right now.
Well, if I had my Today confidence in 1989, yeah, I'd rule the world, man.
I want a car wash or something at this point. I've got to figure.
I'd rule the world. I'd have like $7. By the way, I watched the first 3 episodes of Beavis and Butthead. They're pretty good.
Pretty good, right?
It's very reminiscent of the old Beavis and Butthead.
Exactly. I feel like that whole section in like the 2010s just didn't happen.
I'm not going to lie. I know this is a Simpsons thing, but now that they're still doing 2022 things, Mr. Anderson's still exactly the same. You know,
but that's all explained in the movie.
Yeah, I know, but it just doesn't sit right with me.
It doesn't a little
right.
off-putting. You would think that, like a Mr. Anderson wouldn't be
here.
Wouldn't be. Okay, kids. Yeah.
And they're still at the same school with the same teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just kind of thought they'd be like in 2022 with modern woke teachers and the world we live in now.
I think it's kind of. I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued where they're going to go from this.
Yeah.
From here, but the interstitials, the stuff that they're watching.
Yeah,
that's gold.
Yeah, it was fun.
The whole section with BTS.
Yes.
I just love that
Beavis is in love
he
with.
He walks in, he's like, honestly, Beavis, I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed. Look, Christmas. What? So good. He's just twerking on the couch to a BTS. It's so good.
But that's no different than the old one. It was the same
ASMR
way.
It was so funny. And just all of it. I can't wait to see what else they do to lampoon the internet.
Yeah. So, but I'm in. I'll check some more out this weekend. Let me give you the rundown for this hour. We have not done that yet. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes. Whether you like it, you should. It's rain.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's a lot of rain.
Mm-hmm. And then here in a little bit, about quarter after or so, we're going to have Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast Mexico join us. Angela Strange also joining us with the Roswell Community Little Theater's CAPS program, the Kids Arts program. And, of course, once again, they've partnered up to do another living museum event, Local Legends. It's going to be happening September the 17th at the Historical Society. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that, talk a little bit about the CAPS program and the Historical Society as well, too. So that's what's on tap for this hour of the show. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the local news and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. All right. It is time. Let's get you up to date on, it's got an exclamation point on my computer screen. So the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. All that moist air coming in as part of the monsoon will be shifting into our area today, so we've got a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could have heavy rainfall today, our afternoon high in the mid-80s. Lingering showers overnight and down to 65, and then a little bit more sunshine on Wednesday, but still some afternoon showers and thunderstorms and our high in the low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 69 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 76%. Winds are out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour. Is it still raining out there? It looked like it was smattering out my window here. So rain, we got a 70% chance of it raining right now. No, we got a 70% chance of more rain today. They say mainly after 1, although it's getting started already at 9:16 in the a.m. They do say some storms that we do encounter today could have some heavy rainfall, mostly cloudy for today. Highs of 82 expected with northeast winds at around 10 miles per hour. They're saying expect anywhere from a quarter to a half inch of rain today. A tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain today. However, that could increase if we get a thunderstorm or something like that. Tonight, our chance of rain is at 70% as well, mainly before 7. So they sound like this will kind of taper off. But you know how it is. It probably could rain till midnight. It's supposed to not start till this afternoon, yet here we sit. But anyway, mostly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 65. Winds out of the north 5 to 10. Could see another tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain tonight as well. For you Wednesday, we are looking at a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy. We're not even getting to the 80s, 79 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. They're talking another tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain tomorrow as well. Tomorrow night, we're looking at a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before 7, mostly cloudy otherwise with an overnight low of 65, east winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then looking at the rest of the week, 20% chance of rain for Thursday and Thursday night. Friday, we're looking at no chance of rain. Well, it's New Mexico, but no chance what they're saying right now. Mostly sunny and 91. And then for the weekend, rain chances back. 20% chance on Saturday, mostly sunny and 89. 20% on Sunday, mostly sunny and 86. And for your Labor Day Monday, a 20% chance of rain, mostly sunny and 87. So this is like the real monsoon season. Like that was test monsoon season. Now we're in monsoon season. So enjoy it. Either way, we're getting rain, and I'm not complaining. So cannot do that. Even though it comes all at once and it makes everything flooded and nasty, I'm not complaining because we need the moisture. But it's always a but. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then on the other side, we'll talk Historical Society and Kids Arts Program on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Do you know what to do when you or a loved one has flu-like symptoms, chest pain, shortness of breath, or abdominal pain? Or where to go for a broken bone? Emergencies are never convenient, but when they happen, ask to be taken to Loveless Regional Hospital, where they have 24/7 emergency care, intensive care, and more. You can even be seen in about 30 minutes or less. When urgencies or emergencies happen, ask to be taken to Loveless Regional Hospital. Because minutes matter, and you have a choice.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For a free estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, and Angela Strains with the Roswell Community Theater's CAPS program, Kids Arts Program, KAPS. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing today?
Good. Yeah, doing good.
Good deal. Well, now that you two are together, we know what that means.
Yep.
Time once again for another living history event at the Historical Society. For folks that aren't familiar, actually, I'll let Angela, because people say I talk too much, so I'll just let Angela do it because that's what she does. But explain the Kids Arts Program and give folks a little bit of background for folks that may not be familiar.
Yes, we're the youth program of the Roswell Community Little Theater, and we just seek to provide theater instruction and just experience to the kids in Roswell. So
yeah.
Everything from stage direction to putting on a full play to puppetry and clowning and improv is our current semester.
They get to learn all aspects of theater and creative stuff, including the less glamorous side of it, the moving parts that have to happen for a production to get pulled off. They the set design, the costume design, the lights and sound, they learn all those aspects of it. And then they also learn about the community and stuff, much like with this Living History event. That's for folks, this is the CAPS program. This is probably one of the more tentpole things that people would know the CAPS program about. If you ever gone out to South Park Cemetery, usually during the summer, when the kids are off school and things like that, they'll go and they'll do these history events where they get some of the kids and they dress up as some of the more famous people that call South Park Cemetery home, and they invite people to come out and they do in essence a Chautauqua. They kind of imbibe and like for instance, her son always played J.P. White out at the cemetery, so. That's like his gig now. So anytime J.P. White's needed, Josiah's there to dress up there. But them and other kids, they kind of take it. And odds are, drive around town, and if you see street names that aren't numbers or states, those are people's names, and they've had some kind of impact on our history. You know, the Hobbses, all these names you see, the Lee, these street names. They all have history here, and many of them call South Park Cemetery home. So you get to learn about some of that. Well, I don't know if people got a little tired of going out to the cemetery because, it does have a vibe. Just saying, it's a cemetery. So if you've kind of taken the living history part and that side, and now you guys have been doing the last couple times out here at the Historical Society. Yeah, they're in the J.P. White House, and of course the archive facility next door there, and just kind of made it a whole fun weekend event or Saturday event, and we got another one coming up for folks too.
Yay! It's that time.
Yeah, and so this is really for kids of all ages. Bring the younger kids, have fun because they'll be doing projects and little arts and crafts things, but the adults are going to probably love it just as much because you get to kind of tour the house and tour because the kids will be set up in various rooms of the house, and then they all have a story to tell, a presentation to tell, and so the adults I think will get a kick out of that and learn a few gee whiz factoids about the place you call home. And then the kids get to, some of that hopefully rubs off on them, but then they get to do the projects and get in love with the fun and games. And hopefully some of this rubs off on the younger kids. That's kind of the whole point of the event, is just getting that chance for everyone to learn about and have some fun. And at the same time, it's supporting these kids and their hard work because I'm sure they've been practicing for a better part of a month now, just trying to get these parts down and getting everything.
Yeah, they've been working hard on their scripts and about to do the costume fittings, and they're excited. They were all at the end of the spring semester last year. They were all on board. Yes, sign me up for next year.
They had such a good time doing it last time. They said, I'm in for this next one here. Well, good news is we don't have to wait long. September 17th, we're just a couple weeks away, will be the next one. And it'll be, and that's a Saturday, September 17th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Historical Society, 200 North Lee. And you can come on out and experience exactly what we're talking about here. Come and do it's kind of it's a come and go thing, but you want to allow yourself time to come and do all of the things. So if you roll in towards the latter half, you may not have enough time to do and see everything. So if you get there closer to the 10 o'clock time, that's probably but if you don't, you're busy, got sports or whatever going on, can't make it till noon, no biggie. Come on down and we'll get you, come out till 1:30 even. We'll make sure we get some arts and crafts and some stuff for you. But so let's talk a little bit about what's I don't want to spill all the magic beans here, but what's some of the things that kids are working on for this upcoming event?
Well, our main honoree is going to be Mrs. White, so J.P. White's wife.
All right.
And so
the real head of the family.
Yes.
Or actually, the term I heard, which I really like, is the male may be the head of the family, but the wife is the neck.
Yes.
And she turns the head to tell it which way to go.
That's true. It is true.
So she's the neck of the family. Okay, so that's one.
Yes, and we're going to do Robert Goddard, of course, but we're also going to include his wife. Since lesser known. Nobody knows a lot about Esther, so we're going to be covering her.
Which, anybody that's been married long enough knows that without that marriage, he probably wouldn't be Robert Goddard, the rocket scientist we know him to be today, because of Esther Goddard.
Yes, she kept him organized.
Yes,
that's right.
And probably out of trouble from the time to two. Because I'm just imagining everybody that's into the designing rockets. I'm just saying they probably got a little bit of a dangerous side to them. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, that looked cool. Let's make it bigger explosion next time. And then there's somebody needs to say, dude, calm down on that. So it's probably Esther. But and that's what's cool part about it is you get to learn these interesting things in a fun way. It's not like you're opening up a textbook and be like, Robert Goddard was born on. It's not that. This is the celebrating of life part that the Historical Society is so much a part of.
Yes, and my son Corbin got to connect more with Robert Goddard than just, hey, that name's around town.
Gotcha.
Because as he was doing the research, he found out that he played the piano and he likes to watch birds.
So there's some common ground between the two of them.
There you go.
All right, so who knows? Maybe that's when if Corbin decides to keep going with piano and all that stuff, it'd just be like, who's your inspiration? Robert Goddard. Not the answer most people would be thinking of, you know. But that's cool. It's really cool. So come learn about some of the side stuff about some of these people or some of these names that you've known and heard of, and learn about the people that made them great, you know, and learn about that. And at the same time, you're learning about local Roswell lore and culture and the lifestyle and how it is, you know. That's because all of this is in the setting of course, honoring Mrs. White, particularly in this particular session. But you know, you're doing it from the home which she made or you know created with. Not physically with the brick and mortar, but the family that came out of it. Guess who was in charge of all that? And that's the cool. So now you get to hear and learn about it, and then you're like, wow, this could have been the bedroom, or this could have been where the family called their, you know, where they spent their evenings and things like that. And if you haven't been into the house, first shame on you. You need to come see it. Make September 17th. It's a beautiful home. Turn of the century home. It's on the it's a historical building, obviously, and. But I think it's if you've never been in there, just come to see just from the moment you step on the big grand porch till you walk into the parlor there and you see the grand staircases and just and you look at it and you're like, man, it's because, and let's face it, this is a pretty luxurious house for that time period. This was what you call a more affluent house. Not everybody was living this way back in when this house was, you know, new. and so you get to kind of see that life a little bit and see what that's. So take all of that and then what the kids with the CAPS program are doing, and I feel like you got a really cool experience coming out there. You kind of get even more so. I mean, the cemetery's cool too because you really do get to walk around and see. It's like, oh, look at, and you know, kids. If you're a kid like me, I used to go around and try to find the oldest date on the, you know what I mean? Just stuff like that. It's like, wow, this one's from 1872, you know, or whatever it is. There's some funness that, but to me, that you almost get another level of that by doing it in the J.P. White House. You're actually talking and discussing and sharing about people that actually walked through the hallways of that home and called it home for many years. And to me, that adds a different layer of coolness to it, you know? It's kind of like when if you ever get a chance and go to Virginia, go tour Mount Vernon. That's George Washington's home. And growing up in that area, I've got to do it a couple times. I'm kind of lucky, but every time I walk in there, I'm always like, I can imagine, you know, because again, that's another stately, you know, affluent plantation type place. But you go in there and things like paint on the walls, and you're like. That was very. It's in 1799 to have paint like this on the wall was like big time, big deal. You know, and things like that, and things that we take as just commonplace today is, and it's no different than the J.P. White House. You're going to see some of that stuff, and you're like, wow, it's pretty simple. It's like you don't realize how ornate, like a bathroom in the house on the second floor. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff was. That's like heated flooring today for us, or something that we look at as, oh, that's like a full hot tub, bathtub in the bathroom. You know, having like a second floor inside bathroom is that equivalent back then? You know, it's kind of that same deal. So you get to learn a bunch of that kind of stuff too. And so let's talk a little bit about what's going to be going on next door in the archives facility. You guys are going to have a bunch of that's where the kids can, after you're done going through the home or before, whichever you feel like doing, and visiting there, walk right next door, across the parking lot to the archives facility, and that's where the arts and crafts and games and where most of the fun. I'd say half the fun's in the house. The other half's going to be in the archives facility there. So come on by. What's some of the projects and things you guys have planned for the 17th?
There's going to be a few arts and crafts, but we're also planning to shoot off some rockets.
Nice.
So
in honor of you know, the whole Goddard. There's a reason why Goddard High School is called Goddard Rockets. If you're not sure yet, come on out the 17th. We'll learn you.
And I think the adults had more fun last year than the kids at times when I went through there.
We like to see things blow up. It's in our nature. So the kids will have a lot of fun, and I'm assuming they're going to do the rockets outside.
Yes.
Yeah. I know we like to have fun in the archive facility, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to let us shoot
No,
rockets
no,
off. Somebody might have a problem with that. But and if nothing else, even if maybe you don't have kids, come on out and just explore the grounds anyway. Come support the kids in their hard work. Maybe you're not going to be into making a toy rocket or nothing, but you'll definitely love coming and touring the house and see the property. It's a good time of year to come walk the property. The grass is real nice, and it's I'd say the second best time. Spring's probably the best time because the flowers in bloom and all that. But the fall's a pretty sweet time to walk the property and see the beautiful grounds and things, and see some of the leaves turning and all that good stuff. So, but I know we're a little bit. Give it a couple weeks on the leaf turning, but by about October timeframe, that should start happening here. But yeah, come on out. Again, the event will be happening September 17th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, 200 North Lee Street. Can't miss it. The J.P. White home is right on the corner of 2nd and Lee there, as you're West 2nd, as you're heading out. Can't miss it right there. And then right next door to the home is the parking lot you'll park in. And right next door to that is the archives facility. So you're right there. Can't miss it. If you've never been before, make this a first time for you here, too. And then, like I said, bring the family, bring the kids. There's no cost or anything to this, is there?
It's a minimal cost because it supports both the Historical Society and the CAPS program.
Okay.
So the tickets are $5.
Okay, cool.
And they need to make reservations, and it's up now. They can make a reservation.
Yes. So we will take walk-ins, but if you want to secure your tour time,
if you got a narrow window or something, you can
go on ahead of time online, and you'll have the tour time that you pick.
Okay, very good. And can you do that through the Historical Society's website or the CAPS website?
If you link on our website, it will just show information of how to link onto their website to make the reservations.
Well, is it the main community theater website, which is Roswell Theater, THEATRE.org, and you can go there and while you're there, get tickets for their upcoming plays and all that kind of stuff too. And read more about the CAPS program if you're interested. And by the way, this is another. If you've got children that you're interested in maybe partaking in the CAPS program, bring them on out the 17th, kind of see what it's all about and see the program. And of course, Angela and any of the staff there will be happy to tell you a little bit more about what they're doing when they're not out at the Historical Society doing things like this.
I just want to encourage individuals too, if they're listening and not interested for one reason or another, or can't attend the event, they can become a sponsor. There's very minimal fees involved, but we'll have some crafts and stuff. They can become a sponsor.
Okay.
And that's a great way.
To support
this.
Help cover the cost of some of the arts and crafts supplies.
And we need
things like
silent auction items.
Okay.
So we're going to have a neat silent auction.
So if you'd like to donate an item or two, if you're, we have so many great supporters. I mean, the Heritage Dinner last week definitely proved that, as always.
For sure.
And we want to keep that going. And this is really, that's the fun event thing about this, because it really serves so many needs. The Historical Society and the Community Little Theater, let's face it, they both got financial needs. I know you've got a program to run. They got a roof to fix, too, over in their facility. Speaking of roofs,
we both have leaky roofs.
Yeah.
We do have a lot more things to go. We're all concerned when the rain happens.
We're all a little drippy. But,
yeah, we're a little drippy.
But and unfortunately, we might get put to the test here over the next couple of days here. But so by coming in, and that's what I love about this event, because it supports them financially. But here's the cool part: is it gives a chance for people that may not necessarily go to the museum because to come because of you guys, and vice versa. There might be people that may not come out to a kids program, but they'll come out to see the you know what I mean. And so I'm hoping you're going to get people that maybe came for the kids and learned a whole bunch of stuff about history, or came for the history and learned a whole bunch more about what the kids are doing and getting some kids signed up for it. Either way, but because even though there's different missions there where you guys work with kids and promote the arts and all that, but at the same time, it's that growth, it's that history, it's and let's face it, the kids in your program probably are doing much better in school and things like this because now they found their outlet, their thing that makes them understand and learn. We, as we're getting better in science and stuff, we're learning that, kids don't learn the same way. And, maybe the way they do it in school isn't registering or isn't sinking in. And sometimes presenting it in a different way, like they do through CAPS. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're learning art and theater, but guess what? How much local history did these kids learn? And how much of that is the stuff that is like the ancillary. Oh, by the way, you just learned a whole lot about your community practicing for this little rehearsal here. You know what I mean? And so now these kids absorbed all that information that they probably, if they got regurgitated to them in a classroom, probably goes in one ear and out the other. And so now they're finding their ways to learn these things. And now hopefully they can apply that when they go in higher levels of high school and things. And when they know that they struggle learning English or math or whatever it is in that certain way, maybe we can incorporate how I do my creative side and way I embrace music. Maybe I need to learn math the way I learn music. And that's how CAPS program is wonders, I think, is they really get that there's a different way to kind of solve a problem here. And they it's that out of the box thinking that's part of that program. And I think that's we definitely need that for younger people,
Well, while I'm thinking about it too, if individuals make reservations for a particular time and their time slots available, we want to encourage people to come out a little early because Sean LeMay and Donna Blake Birchall will be on the museum porch.
Oh, good.
Signing books, and we'll have a book table out front. That way, it's just giving them a little time. If they come a little early, they can meet Donna Blake Birchall and Sean LeMay and get autographs from their books.
Talk about their bevy of different books. So if you want to, talk ghost towns to Wicked Women to Billy the Kid to Godzilla, they got you covered.
There you go. We pretty much cover it all.
That should be John's slogan: from Billy the Kid to Godzilla. I got you
there
covered.
You go. Oh, that would make you. That's for sure. That's awesome.
But and of course, Angela, if people are interested, maybe they're hearing this and it's like, I'm not waiting till the 17th. I got a kid I want in CAPS right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way is it to just come to your next meeting, give you a phone call or shoot you an email?
Yeah, they can send me an email at capscommitteechair@gmail.com.
Okay.
Or they can visit the website. Right now, our current semester is just blessed. It's full completely.
Yeah,
that's a good
but
problem
they
to
can
have.
come out to the 17th to the show, and also November 11th and 12th we'll be having an improv show with the kids at the theater.
Nice. Cool.
So they'll be able to come out and see what the kids are doing, and then we'll be back in the spring with open registration.
So doing a little improv, huh?
Yes.
All right. So how are they embracing that? How do they like that?
So far, so good. The kids, I think, are much more comfortable with it than the adults.
Well, and that's just it. Kids are 10 times more creative than adults. That's just, I think, we're all born with that creative stuff. And then as we get older, some retain it better than others. Others, it's kind of, but when you're kids, man, the whole world's your imagination and there's no limits. And then as we get adults, we start putting limits on ourselves and our imagination gets kind of narrowed there. But when they're kids, man, it's why do you think they think of these amazing you see kids say the darn today, those kind of shows that kids say the darndest things and those type of shows, and it's because they're not looking at the world through the skewed vein lens that you've been looking through it. They got a different perspective, and until we feed it, they're going to be awesome and creative and do their thing till we fill their head with whatever. So it does not surprise me that they get, but you got to wrangle that in, because with creativity, sometimes it gets off the rails, and you're like, all right. All right. No. We're not climbing a real mountain. Let's come back here. But I imagine they have a lot of fun with it and get to. So is it kind of like, do you do kind of very similar your whose line is it anyway? It's like, all right, here's a scenario. Go have fun with it.
So during the class, they're learning these different games and how to interact as a group and just the general shell of how these things work.
Sure.
But then when they're actually on stage, they're going to be thrown suddenly they're this character or suddenly they're in this place.
Gotcha.
And that kind of thing. And so they're going to have to think on the cuff.
And how much critical thinking skills are these kids gaining by doing that kind of thing? That's the kind of stuff we talk about in our education that kids don't get enough of, is that opportunity to take, here's a set of things, what do you do with it? And how do you problem solve with it or achieve the goal that you're trying to achieve? And we want to structure everything, and I get that. Structure is good. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is too much structure. There is too much. You don't you want your kid busy, but you don't want to have them regimented down. All right, it's 7:02.
Right.
Why aren't their teeth brushing? It's 7:07. Why you don't want to get that stringent with it? You just kind of want to, And so I think this allows that to allow them to think on their own and say, okay. Here's a guy, make that happen. And now they get to whatever, you're not giving them rules. The guy's got to be this. The guy's got to be that. You're not giving those rules. You're saying, this is what I want. And they get to figure out how to do that. And that's going to translate to someday when they're in the backyard and they got a shed to put together or something, they're scratching their heads like, how do we get, I've got this problem where I got water coming from here to, and now they're going to problem solve because now they're thinking, and that translates into anything else or comes to other lives. When we get to those decisions with parents and things like that, because of those skill sets that they've developed as kids, they can now translate to more important, bigger decisions. And it's hard to teach that in a classroom setting sometimes. It's just something that you learn by experience, and that's the cool part about it. So please learn more about it. Please come out and, again on September 17th. Again, it'll be at the Historical Society, 200 North Lee. It'll be that Saturday, the 17th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. would be the window. It is a come-and-go event, but you do need to get an appointment and things like that. If you do forget, no biggie. Come walk on in. We'll get you going here. But RSVP, go to Roswell Theater, theatre.org. Is it com?
Yeah. Either one will get you there.
Okay.
I found out.
Now, like, is it com or org? Now I start second-guessing myself. I think it's .com now or .org. Either way, you'll get there. And then you can sign up here or call. Even if you call the Historical Society, Amy will make sure she gets you in touch with the right people. Or if you go to if you normally used to go into RoswellNMHistory.org, that one I know is org. And
That's right.
Then you'll find a link to the Community Theater's website too there. So where you can do, and then you'll learn more about the CAPS program, KAPS Kids Arts Program, and learn more about it. And then definitely come and support them on September 17th and come see it for yourself. It's hard. I'm describing it and explaining to you, but till you see it in action, that's where it makes sense more, I think. You know what I mean?
They've really selected some amazing historical figures that might surprise you, I think.
How does that?
Those hidden treasures.
Is that where you get Amy involved, or how do you narrow down? All right, these are the ones we want to do. Is it?
We make it a homeschool project.
Okay.
And then Amy and John LeMay just support us, and we go down to the archives.
So the kids kind of pick their own.
Yeah,
a little bit. I mean,
my boys do get into just sort of going through the books that John LeMay has and things in the archives, and then people just stand out to us.
Yeah.
And we'd like to get the community more involved. We're going to set up some sort of a table suggestion box type of a thing at this next event. So if people from the community know somebody from Roswell's history that's lesser known, and they have some information on that, let us know for next year.
Those hidden treasures.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, we got quite a history here, and there's a lot of great people, from the beginning to where we are today and in between that have made it a great thing. And
there's never going to be a dull moment. There's some very interesting characters.
Sure.
Just say with one of them, there's dynamite involved.
Nice.
Dynamite.
You know, it would be kind of fun, and this might be something we have to get Walker Aviation Museum involved in, but what if we did, dedicated one to some of the World War II military, some of the generals and some of the things because this community served a very important role during World War II and the Cold War. Pretty much, if you were a bomber on a bomber crew in World War II, odds are pretty good you spent time being trained in Roswell. And there was thousands of those crews.
There were so many, and and the fun connection is a lot of pastors came out.
Yeah.
A lot of pastors came out for that too. So, hey, you never know. We literally could do this event once a month.
Yeah.
And never run out of people.
And it'd be unique and everything.
We really could.
And that the whole bomber thing, what sunk home for me one time was I got a chance to go to it's the Boneyard in Arizona, Pima. You heard of the Boneyard where they store old airplanes and everything else? Well, it's there in Arizona. They got a museum and a hangar. Well, they had a whole display area for the B-17 bomber, which was one of the primary bombers used during World War II. So they had a silver one in the museum building here, and then they had a second level, but it was all photographs, and it was nothing but photographs of B-17 bomb crews from World War II. And this room was probably the size of, say, the Coyote Gym or something like that, compared to that size. And that wall was covered from floor to ceiling with just, I don't even think they're 8x10. They're like 5x7 photos of bomb crews. And it just put it all in perspective because I'm looking at this sea of crews and I'm like, and most of them went through Roswell. There was to see thousands of pictures of thousands of bomb crews kind of put it in perspective for me. And so that's why I'm like, Roswell played a major role in that, and that would be cool for more people to learn about that part of it. And the Cold War too afterwards with the missiles and all that stuff. We stored quite a few of those big bad ballistic missiles in this area too during that time. But definitely pretty cool. So again, this is why Historical Society and things like this are in the CAPS program. You get to learn about this kind of stuff. But I think maybe we get Walker Aviation to partner in there and do something.
Be a lot of fun.
We found out that the glider training was done here too because when Corbin did J. Kenneth Smith last year, he learned that's why they came here. Yep, as they were doing.
I feel so bad for those guys that drew the short straw to be glider pilots. Oh man, their success rate was not good during World War II. It just wasn't. But yeah, they were training out here too. So, but bringing it back here, mark this historic date on your calendar, September
right around the corner, 17th,
just about 2.5 weeks away, basically. Not about 3 Saturdays from now, something like that. Yeah. Coming up quick.
It is.
Seems like we were talking about this like a year ago.
I know.
That was just like a month ago.
Yeah.
Time's been just crazy. So September 17th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, 200 North Lee. It's a Saturday. RSVP by logging on to roswelltheatre.org or com, THEATRE, or you can go to roswellnmhistory.org as well and find a link there. It's only $5 as a donation. However, if you'd like to donate more money, the money's being used by both the Historical Society and the Kids Arts Program, CAPS program. And so by donating $20 or $15 or $6 or whatever it is, it's going to help both two good organizations here that really believe in keeping everything in our community preserved, strong, and going for the next generations to enjoy. So, yeah, it's a good thing. And of course, if you want to learn more about any of the things the Historical Society does or the Kids Arts Program, please come out to the event and learn more about that. By the way, if you've got, say you're planning maybe you got a little small wedding or quinceañera or something, use this opportunity to scope out the archive facility while you're there, participate in the activities and stuff. Yeah, I could pull off a small wedding reception. And you'll see the facility with the kitchen, and it's about 75 is what it's.
Yep.
It's
50 to 75 people.
Yeah, I think 75 is like the max, but yeah, and so use that as an opportunity. Becoming a member of the Historical Society, you yourself can. You come as a couple or a sponsorship as a business or organization. That's possible.
Bring your loose change to this event or anytime.
Yeah, we'll have our Coke bottles, collecting bottles of where you can drop off your loose change. So after you paid your $5 and you got a couple dollars in pennies laying around or something, bring it on by.
We collected over $150 at our Heritage
Oh,
Dinner.
wow.
That's great.
Is just a reminder that every penny counts, whether you can't be involved with this event or whatever.
It's a good workout, by the way, too. Collect your change and then move it around various things. I'll get you a good workout, too. But yeah, come out and support. And then, like you said, log on to the Kids Arts Program through the Roswell Community Little Theater website, Roswell, and that way you can learn more about all the CAP stuff. If you're thinking, man, I want to sign my children up for the next semester here, and then certainly come out 17th, and then when's the event in November again?
The 11th and 12th.
11th and 12th. So right a couple weeks before the Thanksgiving holiday, come out to the Community Little Theater, support them, see their performance and show, and then and while you're at that website, definitely check out the Community Little Theater. They're always looking for new folks to come and be a part, whether you want to be on stage, doing your Shakespeare, or behind the scenes, making sure all of that happens. They're always looking for volunteers and people to be a part of that, and even serve on their board and serve in various other less spotlight capacities out there. So, and they, like I said, they're in the same boat the Historical Society is. They got a beautiful facility out there that they've called home for about 8-10 years now, I'm thinking.
That sounds right. I'm not sure.
Yeah, give or take. Well, guess what? The roof is now kaput. It's an old movie theater that's been around for many moons, and they've got a roof that needs to be replaced. So they've been raising money, and unfortunately, There's no hail damage for insurance to make claims or any of that kind of stuff. So it's all out of pocket on the on the community theater. So come bid generously. So if you can come out on the 17th and you can give us 10 instead of 5, that'd be amazing. You don't have to. Don't feel obligated. But if you can, we'd appreciate it. So.
That's right.
Good deal. Is there anything we missed?
The return of the mystery safety deposit box raffle.
Yes.
So you can purchase the
It's
tickets
back at this
online
event? Okay.
or in person. And
It's a pretty cool event. You guys started this the last time there.
Yes.
And there's a safety deposit box there, and you get to purchase a unit, I guess you could say. And it's kind of like the Storage Wars show on TV, if you ever watch that. You open it up, and
That's right.
now you're guaranteed to win a prize. They're not going to be like Storage Wars.
No,
and be like, wah,
we've had
wah.
fun curating them.
bunch
It's not the original boxes that were confiscated. You couldn't get a hold of those. That would have been really cool.
That would have been
So
cool.
we're just
Really
playing
cool.
off the idea, and there'll be historical and fun treasures inside.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so if you always want to do Storage Wars in a safe way and support the CAPS program is a great way to do that too. So, but yeah, to come on out again, September 17th, 10 a.m. to 2. Get your reservations at roswellnmhistory.org or Roswell Theater, theatre.org, and get your tickets now. But if you forget, and you wake up on the 17th and it's like, oh, that's at 10 o'clock. Let's just head on out there. Come on down. We'll get you. You might have to hang out a little bit while some of the reservations go through. But while you're there, you can walk around and see the grounds and come see our bricks. Come see our flag while you're come see some of the beautiful stuff. Yeah, come by. Go talk to John and Donna on the porch, and maybe they'll share their lemonade with you if you're real nice. Very good. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you here. See you here soon, and have fun. That's what it's all about. It's having fun, and that's what you're going to have when you come out. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of good people just having a good time, and come experience it with us. So, good deal. All right, it is 9:54. Let us pause for news and commercials to pay for my food. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The New Mexico Grown Coalition, a network of public institutions, nonprofit and community-based organizations, and people working together to strengthen community food systems, are announcing the winners of this year's Golden Chili Awards. The coalition next month will honor 28 winners to include 11 preschools, 12 school districts, 5 senior centers, and New Mexico farmers around the state during a virtual awards ceremony on September 14th. An Artesia teenager killed last week when the vehicle he was a passenger in collided with a semi-truck. New Mexico State Police responded to the two-vehicle crash on US 285 near West Atoka Road, just south of Artesia. The initial investigation indicated one vehicle was traveling south. For reasons still under investigation, the 19-year-old driver attempted to turn onto West Atoka Road, but turned directly in front of a 2015 Peterbilt semi-truck that was headed north on 285. The semi-truck struck the passenger side of the Dodge. A 15-year-old passenger in the vehicle was killed. No names are released. You're up to date from the Pecos Valley Newsroom. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
The truth and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
The eastern U.S. is more reliant on supplies from Europe, and they're facing the worst crisis ever. And a supply crunch could come sooner as winter season is now upon us, as we now head into hurricane season, threatening disruptions of fuel supply. Can you imagine, one bad incident at one refinery? You have one bad, Cat 5 hurricane. God help us. We're dead. This is the stupidity and short-sightedness of climate alarmism and climate alarmist cultism. This is what it's done. It did it to Europe. Now they're worried about the next 5 to 10 winters and how many people are going to die. And we're following in their dumb footsteps.
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
If you or someone you know was diagnosed with cancer or another serious condition due to toxic water exposure at Camp Lejeune, that's a lot to process. So where do you start? ddhelps.com. Start there to find everything you need to know about who qualifies, as well as a simplified version of your legal rights, from how to handle the claim yourself to when you may want to get an attorney involved. At Dudley DeBosier, we're proud to serve those who served us. Visit ddhelps.com. That's ddhelps.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For a free estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thankful for our men and women in uniform. God bless the USA.
And good morning. It is 9:59. That's about going to do it for us for today's show. If you missed any part of it, you can always go back and check it out at your leisure, ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel or on YouTube. We got our Roswell's Talk FM YouTube channel. You can find all of our interviews there. And, of course, on our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall as well. Our rundown, we had certified physician assistant Sarah East join us from Loveless Regional Hospital talking about Botox, and not only just for headaches, but helping stroke patients to even helping folks with sweat issues. If you got like chronic sweat issues, she helps with all that. We had Jason Roebuck talking about Bricktown and the Roswell Christmas Railway. And, of course, in the 8 o'clock hour, and then just a few minutes ago, we had Amy McVeigh-Tejas and Angela Strange talking about the CAPS event at the Historical